Hello, 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 everyone. Don't worry, Crispy will be here in just a second. He's ready to go, but I did not... Oh, hang on, my mic's peaking. There we go. Let me just turn it on a bit. Sorry. But I couldn't call him in the middle of that intro theme because you would have heard him join the call and start speaking, and I wanted to let 13's theme play out. Let's not say anything else. Let me call the guy. Let me call him. Let me get him in. Get in here, Crispy, you little bugger. Come on. Where are you? Come on. Come on. Join the call, you little... You know what? Let me get the capture ready. Oh, you're going to see that in the reflection for a second. Here he comes. Crispy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you are, King. I can hear you. Right. All I need to do is very quickly check. Yes, your audio level. I need to adjust your audio level. It should be -8 on here.
Hello.
Right,
hey,
okay.
Mate.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Gideon.
Before we say anything, because we're going to have to do, obviously, some kind of intro. God knows how we're going to do that. We currently have 90 concurrent viewers, which is far more than any record we've had before, and you are all just here for the start. So thank you all so much. This is going to be a big one, ladies and gentlemen, because obviously we're going to be talking all about what we've just seen. Did you know there was a new episode of Doctor Who on, Crispy?
I saw it. I had a look.
Oh, wow.
I had a bit of a geeze.
Okay, good. We need to think of an intro. Okay, so for our intro, what are we going to do? Because obviously we'll have to cut this down. Actually, let me hit start recording. I'm going to get a massive...
Yeah, do you want me to record?
You should be okay, because I'm only going to be able to record both our sides anyway, so... okay, let's do a live intro. Normally we do our intros before we go live. We're going to do a live intro. Chat, I tell you what, for the intro this time, chat, why don't you give us some ideas for what we can do for our intro for the audio listeners, because obviously this is going to go up as soon as possible. Give us a little bit of a joke, and then we can get right into it. We're not going to mess around here. I want us to be actually doing the episode de facto in the next 2 minutes, because the struggle right now to not ask you what you thought of it is killing me, Crispy. It's killing me.
I'm exactly the same, mate.
You closed Thary's stream to watch this? Good! We are better than Thary's! I'm joking. Hey, Thary's got a bit of time after the episode went out, so, you know, that was his advantage, you know? That was his advantage. He doesn't live in Australia. Start sobbing like
yeah, exactly.
I've got an idea, yeah. I've got an idea.
What are you going to do?
Okay. I've got a plan. I've got this. You ready? Are you ready for this? Go along with this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, Crispy, I want you to open the intro by asking me how many times I cried during that episode, okay?
Okay.
All right,
I can do that. So, Troy, how many times exactly did you cry during that episode?
I lost count. I'm gonna be honest.
You lost count?
I cried several times the first time, and then the second time round, I think I cried about 4 different times. It's like I don't even the emotions right now I cannot comprehend. But I need to know your answer. So Tag, you're it.
Oh, stop! No. I had a bit of a cry too, mate.
It's gonna be hard not to cry during this. It's gonna be hard not to cry. Like I can feel myself at the minute. Oh god. Let's just get into the episode before I cry even more. Let's get into episode 31. Let's talk about Power of the Doctor, shall we?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Roll the intro. Okay, there we go. There's our intro recorded. We got that ready for the audio versions. Oh god, I'm going to struggle not to cry. I don't...
Oh, mate. Hold it together, brother.
I'm wearing the Thasmin t-shirt.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay, right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Wait, Sugar, who does the intro? Who did the intro last episode?
I think it was you last episode.
I'll double check. You guys are going to hear like an old episode real quick while I do this, because obviously I can't mute it for you guys. Let me just hear our last episode. Sorry for your ears in advance. You know, all right, who was it? Podcast, the show where two Who... It was me. Okay, cool. It was me. So you're up for the intro, Crispy. You're up.
No worries.
Okay, so This is obviously going to be a more unstructured episode. We're just going to talk, and if it takes half an hour, if it takes an hour, if it takes an hour and a half, whatever. My mum has given me carte blanche. She's going to bed at some point soon, but she went, if it takes you ages and I'm asleep, don't worry about it. So she's a queen. Both of us have been freaking out over that, so we've got plenty to talk about, including what we're going to do, because we were going to do looking back on Series 5 next week. I wonder if we're going to need 2 episodes for this. Like, we're going to need like a calm down discussion about this.
I think that there might very much need to be
I reckon
a
we
more
still
critical
record
look.
Series 5 with our guest. Our next guest is confirmed, by the way, for the episode, for the Series 5 episode. I reckon you and I do a recording on Tuesday for 32, and we record 33 with him on Wednesday anyway, and then that's just ready for the week after. Let's do that.
Sounds bloody good.
Do that. Well, I mean, considering we'll have recorded 4 episodes of the podcast in the span of a week, I think we probably have earned a bit of time off. You know what I mean? We will have earned a bit of time off.
Yeah.
Also, I can see the actual live water bottle in the background. I appreciate you greatly for that.
Yeah, there it is.
Also, I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if he's watching, but a shout out to my friend Andy, who works at the radio station I'm getting experience at, because he literally texted me after the episode ended and went, "What did you think of that?" And then he just called me. And I was like, "I'm going to do a podcast." And he went, "Oh, I might watch the podcast." So if you're watching, Andy, much love. Hope you enjoy it.
Hi, Andy.
Yeah, he's a king. I love that man. He's great. He's honestly class. Right. So, we're just going to get into this. I have got the polls, by the way. All we've got, like, to recap are just the polls, and we should obviously mention the news that came out after said trailer, but we'll get there. That'll just come up naturally, no doubt.
Wait, is there a trailer?
Oh, did you... Oh my god, have you not seen the trailer?
Alright, no, you're kidding. You're
Jesus Christ. Oh, no, right, chat.
There wasn't one for the broadcast in Australia.
Right, okay, I've got an idea. The BBC might not like this, but I can always mute it afterwards and hopefully it won't impact the stream.
Hang on, can I... I want to do a reaction right now.
I want to do a reaction right now. I've got an idea. Okay, I've got an idea. What I will do is, if I get a capture up, this is great. Wait, we'll do this as part of the podcast. Let's do this as part of the podcast. We'll do an intro, and you can watch the trailer live with us. And I'll just cut it out of the audio version.
You're gonna have to send me the clip though, so I can upload it as well.
Here's what we'll do. I'll get a capture set up on here, and I'll mute the audio so the BBC don't attack us. Okay. And I'll send you the link. At the same time, we'll both hit play, so what everyone sees on screen is what you're seeing. That sound good?
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think.
There's the trailer. Get that up and pause it at 0. And I will get it downloaded and put up on my screen here. This is effort. Ladies and gentlemen, this is effort, okay? But we're doing this so that Crispy can watch this live. Because for context for everyone, the way this has worked tonight, I've watched the episode... Crispy then watched it as soon as it came out on Australian TV, which meant I had time to do a watch along on my Discord server. So shout out to everyone who hung out for that, because I'll say something. The old, like the Doctor Who watch along started to dip down in excitement for people as the watch along went on, because people didn't watch it as much as it went along. So many people turned out to watch this episode, so that was class. Right, you might hear audio for a second. I apologise for your ears in advance because this might be loud. If you want to mute your phone screen for a second, do it.
That's alright.
Boom. Okay, there we go. Got it up on screen. So,
okay, I'm ready.
Mute that. Hang on a minute. Just got to get this to sync up in here, and then we'll be good to go. Give me just a moment, and then I'll hit play at the same time as you, and we'll be good to go. Okay? Just for context, everyone, I tell you what I might do. I'm going to have the audio. I'm going to have it really, really, really quiet. Let's see.
Can I do like because I'm recording on my end, can I do like a little intro for me?
Of course you can. Absolutely.
Like,
do you want to? Can you record on your end for yourself? Like, so
yeah, I'm recording on my end for me. Yeah, this is how we do it, guys. Podcast with a plan. Come on.
Hang on.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Okay, cool. Right, we're set up.
Oh my gosh. Gosh.
All right, let me get your camera back up. There we go. Right, this is tense. This is tense, gamers. This is tense.
My gosh.
All right. All I gotta do is pop this under border tier to align it properly. Boom. All right, I'm good to go. Are you ready to go? Oh wait, the border's different.
I don't care.
I'll replace it in post. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Ignore that this says episode 27. Sorry, I didn't think we were going to use this screen. All right, you ready? You ready, Crispy?
Fine.
Do your intro and then...
Yeah, hang on. I'm doing my intro.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Whovians. Crispy Bro here, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm in the middle of doing a podcast right now, and Troy's with me on the other end, but I'm recording this side because apparently a trailer has dropped. I just finished watching The Power of the Doctor, and at the end of the Aussie broadcast, there was no trailer. There was nothing. And so now Troy's like, hey, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this thing. So, there's a trailer for Doctor Who returning in 2023. ... is the name of it. So, I'm ready. Troy... count me in and I'll press play.
I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. As soon as I say go, we hit play. You ready?
Okay. I'm not going to shut up during this thing. Okay, here we go.
That's fine. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Neil! Donna! Shooting!
Shooty Gatwa.
No way!
Shooty Gatwa.
No way! Is that the new logo?
Gatwa. It might be. Or is
that just like a placeholder until we get something?
So, Crispy, you might want to know something for your reaction. You might want to keep this in your video. I'm going to break something to you live so you know what's going on before we record the podcast. Doctor Who returns in November 2023 with 3 specials to celebrate the show's 60th anniversary, following on from which Shooty Gatwa will regenerate into the 15th Doctor. David is 14, Shooty is 15, and his first special will air during the festive period of 2023. That is the new information we just got.
So wait, the festive period of 2023, what does that mean?
Christmas, baby. It's got to mean Christmas. It could be New Year, but I think with Russell, he's done Christmas teasers. I think it could be Christmas, personally.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So there we go. There we go. Do you want to watch it once more?
I would love to watch it once more.
Let's
Pretty please.
Are you synced back up?
I'm synced back up. Here we go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my gosh. Shit!
Beautiful. I've got to try and find, where is it? There's a shot here that to me is just...
Oh my god.
I love him without the coat here with Donna. That's great, but...
Yeah, that's sick.
The adrenaline I felt seeing him running down a corridor with that face with a long coat, I cannot even begin to express it. I cannot even.
Go.
Right, do you need to do an outro or something, and then we'll get into the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. You do whatever you need to do, and then we'll get going.
I'll record my outro and stuff separately. I'll just be like,
are you sure you don't want to do it now, and then it's done bookended? I'm sure the viewers won't mind.
It's fine.
Okay, cool. Right, in that case.
Cutting there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the podcast started then. Let's get it. I can't believe you hadn't seen that.
Nah.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Had no idea.
You ready?
Yeah, boy, I'm ready.
Oh, let's do it. All right, your intro, boy. I'm not going to do any B-movie gags. Let's just go straight into the blooming thing.
Yeah, let's go. Good boy. All right. Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast, a show where two YouTubers get together and cry about Doctor Who. I'm your host, Crispy Pro, and joining me is Troy Red Archer Live. How are you, mate? We just watched an episode.
Did you know there's a new episode of Doctor Who on? Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that.
There was a new episode, mate.
For the first time in 6 months. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now to an audience of, let me just check this, I haven't seen the current stats, 140 people.
Hello, 140 people.
For the record, we've only ever been live to a peak of 50 before, so this is kind of insane. So thank you to everyone on YouTube who's watching this right now. And also, thank you to the huge surge of subscribers we've had on the podcast recently. We've gone up nearly, 200 subscribers in the last week, which is kind of crazy, honestly. It's kind of mad.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. I'm going to live count up the subs, and I'll check it as the stream goes across, just to see if anything changes. We're 863 right now, so yeah, we gained about 200 in a week. It's kind of mental. But ladies and gentlemen, we have just watched The Power of the Doctor. I have watched it twice. Crispy has seen it once. And he has only just seen the trailer involving a certain Scotsman that's putting on an English accent, and also another certain Scotsman that seems to be putting on an English accent, and also a certain American actor that's doing a very convincing and creepy wave. We'll get there. So you're going to have a video up soon for that, so hopefully that'll be up by the time the audio version of this goes out. I don't know.
It'll definitely be up. It'll definitely be up by then.
It's an exciting time, this, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a lot to talk about.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I don't even... Where do we... Right, so our idea right now is we're obviously doing this live review. We're going to talk about everything that comes off the top of our head. We've kind of decided in our head we're going to do another episode after this. It's going to be a kind of more head calm, proper thoughts breakdown of the episode, because we think that we probably need that for this. So this is going to be our rambling, talking to the live chat. We'll have a more reformed discussion for episode 32. And then episode 33 will be our first special guest episode in 20 episodes. Which, that took way too long to happen. Okay, that took way too long. We've got to get better at this.
It's going to happen.
We've got to get better at this. So yeah, you guys are going to be... Yeah, Jack Cumbers in the chat saying you're about to be spoiled. You are, my friend. You are. It's crazy. Okay. So, we have got 87 minutes worth of Doctor Who to try and cram into some kind of discussion here. Crispy, where do you... actually... Let's get the poll out of the way. Because we need to just talk about it, and we can move on very briefly. So, yesterday, we asked you who your favourite Whittaker era companion was, and you all blew our records out with the polls yet again. YouTube has had about 260 votes now. I took the screenshot of about 220, so there's a few votes don't count, but the trend's the same. You had to vote out of Mandip Gill, Yasmin Khan, Graham O'Brien, Ryan Sinclair, and Dan Lewis, who was your favourite Whittaker era companion. And here are your results. So on audio platforms, out of 25 votes, Yaz comes out on top with 40%, Dan and Graham tie for 28%, and Ryan Sinclair comes out with 4%. And on YouTube, out of 238 votes, a different trend. Graham O'Brien on top with 43%, Dan Lewis in second with 34%, Yaz only bagging a fifth of the votes at 21%, and then Ryan with 2%. He looked at those votes and he really went, swish! He didn't even appear in Power of the Doctor, He didn't even appear in Power of the Doctor.
Gotta mention,
too busy in Patagonia,
Yeah.
Disgraceful. Should have been there. But you know what? We got Graham, so I'm happy. All the Whittaker companions that we both love were there. Sorry, that's too mean to Ryan. That's too mean.
That's rough.
We've been live for 5 minutes, or like doing the recording for 5 minutes, and there's already Ryan abuse. I'm not happy about it. I'm sorry. Okay, so we have to save the obvious for the end, because that seems like a good place to bookend it. We have to talk about the episode in general first. Okay, score out of 10. Let's start with that. Score out of 10. What would you give yourself? What would you give the episode, sorry, out of 10? Where would you sit it?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Interesting.
Maybe 8.5.
Okay. What was your reasoning for that? What kind of, without going into like
because
50 different tangents?
I definitely think like my main concern was that it bit more off than it can chew, and I will give credit to the episode definitely that I feel like this is one of the first times, maybe the first few times, that I feel like Chibnall was actually able to manage a large cast. I feel like I actually got a lot of time with Kate and Tegan and Ace and the Master, and everyone like that. So I was like, okay, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But I mean, there was a lot going on this episode. There was definitely a lot going on. And it felt like a blockbuster. And so to its credit, yes, absolutely. But I am excited to watch this episode again, definitely, because I literally finished it maybe 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So it's still very fresh in my brain.
Yeah, and mine too. So yeah, for context for everyone, we kind of explained this last episode, but it went out at 7:30 p.m. UK time here, so I was watching it live with my mum, both of us crying at the end of it. Honestly, hilarious. Then just after that, you started watching it, so I was doing a watch along on my Discord server with a bunch of people in like my streaming community who wants to watch it with me. So we all watched it together. So I've seen the episode twice at this point. I've dipped in and out to get things set up for the podcast, but pretty much seen it twice. And then you were watching it the first time at the same time. So we've both finished it just now, but different watches of it. And the second time I cried about 2 or 3 times more. So in the privacy of your own room, your eyes just let loose, you know? They just let loose.
Man, I don't even know where to begin. What are you rated out of 10 right now?
I think I give it a 9. I want to say 10.
Nice.
But I feel like I need to watch it again. I need to sit back and really think it through, because the first time I watched it, there were a couple of things that I was like, how this doesn't make sense. And then a second rewatch made me go, no, hang on, I get that. Like, we'll get to it in a minute. But in my head, I was going, how on earth did the Master persuade Daleks to work with him? And then I watched it a second time and went, oh, he literally said he unites them because the idea was, you know, what's the one thing they hate most? The Doctor. They'll come together. Kind of like the Alliance did for Pandora Opens. And I was like, oh, okay, there's one problem I had with the episode. Gone. Cool. And as you know, like, we have been champions of, like Legend of the Sea Devils. My mum and I watched that again today. Definitely inconsistencies in the episode and things that don't quite add up, but overall, that episode is really good. I don't care. I really like Legend of the Sea Devils. I think that episode's cracking.
Absolutely.
I really like it.
That's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun.
But yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10, at least. Maybe 9. I will push for a 9.5. In my head, what I'm thinking right now is how it compares to other Regeneration stories. I think I definitely like it more than Twice Upon a Time. I definitely like it more than Time of the Doctor. I think I definitely like it more than Part in Other Ways, but I don't know about End of Time, because that was a 2-parter. There was a lot more to that. And
There's a lot more to that one, hey?
I don't know. There's like, I have a tiny, not an issue, but a tiny kind of nitpick with the way the Regeneration was done towards the end that I want to get at, which is kind of a little reason that it's kind of knocking it a bit for me, but I think a 9.5.
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, well, there you go.
I think definitely, one thing I said to you was I was really hoping... Oh, wait, I was on your channel. It was your channel this morning, wasn't it? It wasn't on the podcast, because you had me on your channel, because you can't get enough of me, clearly.
Was it just this morning?
Yeah,
was it just this morning?
I said
My goodness.
that I hoped that Jodie Whittaker would get perfect bookends. I don't feel like any Doctor has had, like, perfect bookends in the sense that their starting and their final episodes are both top tier. You know, Chris Eccleston is different because he didn't have an episode where he just regenerated. But David Tennant, Christmas Invasion is good, but it's not, like, top tier, whereas End of Time is top tier.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, 11th Hour is top tier. Time the Doctor is top tier-ish, but not quite as, like...
Not according to Matt Smith.
Peter Capaldi, Deep Breath is top tier. Twice Upon a Time I love, but I wouldn't term that as a top tier episode. Whereas for this, I think in terms of consistency for bookends, I think Jodie's had the best combination of starter and finisher. I think she's had...
absolutely agree with that.
Perfection there, honestly. Absolute perfection. So that's my score. Sam.
Nice.
Where do we even... This is the problem. This is why we need to have another episode where we break our thoughts down, because there's going to be like 20 things we forget here. So enjoy our panicky ramblings. The thing is, with Sea Devils, that episode went out like 7 days after the episode had aired. Like, us talking about it, or 6 or 7 days after. We had a chance to get our thoughts before we recorded the episode. Here, it's like we've just been caught in the middle of an alley with our pants around our ankles, going, "What do you think of this episode?" And going, "I don't know.
I don't know."
It's
a lot.
It is a lot.
It was a lot. I honestly don't even know where to start. Where do you want to start?
Okay. Actually, do you know what? I want to... This is not starting at the beginning of the episode, but I want to get this question from the chat because I want to know. Okay, what did everyone think of the Rah Rah Rasputin song section?
Oh my gosh.
Because my friend from the radio station who called me, I don't know if I mentioned this before we started recording or afterwards, but I had a friend who gave me a ring and was like, what did you think of it? He reckoned that the Rasputin thing was the only bit of the episode he didn't like. And I was like, I've got to agree to disagree on that. Because
I had a great time with that.
That was John Sim Voodoo Child, but better.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. I didn't think you could get better than him wheeling David Tennant around to his sisters. I can't decide, but I honestly think that topped it. I genuinely think that topped it. Because everyone was making the joke, obviously, of him being dressed like Rasputin in like the promo images and stuff from the magazines. And everyone's like, oh yeah, Rah Rah Rasputin, that's really funny, he's Rasputin. They didn't, if you can tell me anyone thought they were going to use that song, you're lying to me. Everyone jokes, but no one expected that to be in there. And then he played it. Beautiful. It was beautiful. It was so good. It was so good.
It was awesome. It reminded me of, maybe it shouldn't have, but Matt Smith Morbius.
Oh my god. Imagine instead. Yeah, he turns on the device in the background, you just hear, have sex. Oh god, we're already sending into memes. Everyone's saying they loved it. Best thing Chibnall has ever written, says Mateo.
Nice.
I would be surprised if it doesn't become a meme, says the one-time lady. Actually, yeah, I want to see an edit of that to Morbius have sex. I want to see that.
It's going to.
I want to see that.
Honestly.
AKA says the Dalek and Cyberman looking at each other was comedy gold. That was so good. Then both like, done. What is going on here? Sorry.
I wonder if Chibnall wrote that, or if on the day they were like, surely you two just look at each other being like, what?
Yeah, that seems like one of those kind of things that you can't really rehearse per se. So either you thought of that immediately, like in the first draft, or they did it on set. There's no in between there. There's no in between. Just thinking, the Daleks just look at the Cyberman and be like, what is going on here?
What? Why?
Might be my favourite needle drop since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, says Scrambled 59. That's a good call out. I like that.
Damn.
Guardians 2 has some pretty good needle drops. I like that. I like that reference. That's nice. Right, so let's try and break this down scene by scene, or at least
let's break it
bit
down.
by
Let's go through it.
Train
Should we
scene.
talk about the train?
That was phenomenal.
That was epic. That was such a good way to start the episode. Honestly, it felt like an action movie. It felt like a full-on action movie. The Doctor's like, yeah, I got your distress call. Let's go.
Yeah. Doctor in distress, haha.
Doctor in nice.
I love, because obviously we knew the Cybermasters were coming into it. I love that they didn't have the Cybermaster robes immediately. That it just looked like they were base Cybermen, at least at first glance.
Yeah.
Because when they regenerated, then you went, oh, here we go. Here we go.
We're in trouble.
You wouldn't expect it. And obviously then at that point, they started turning up with the robes. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, you've played your trump card. Now we can enjoy those beautiful robes.
Now we can have it. Yeah.
And that armor as well, because we said this in Timeless Children, it didn't have all the Gallifreyan markings on like the cyber, like of the arms and the legs. Like they definitely updated the design for this, and it looked cracking.
Oh, absolutely. I think they're slightly like darker and more like maybe metallic-y.
Yeah.
And they look really cool. That looks really, really cool, actually.
But Dan Lewis.
Dan Lewis, he
didn't die.
He got shot.
I
got
told
shot,
you he didn't die.
I was like, this is not good.
So
this is not good news.
How did it? Maybe it grazed her on the helmet. I need to watch that bit again. At that point, I was setting up for the podcast. How did the bullet go? Do we see how it hit his helmet? Did it graze across his helmet, or like?
I don't know. I think
maybe the helmet's maybe it's like Vinci glass. It contains it, Another Regeneration.
I've had enough of Regeneration stories, mate. Had enough Regeneration stories.
Maybe the helmet just took the blast for some reason, but obviously then he had the hole in the helmet. I almost felt like it was a bit like underplayed how like serious it was that he had a hole in his helmet and then he was like floating off.
I would have liked if they lingered on that for a bit and like made us actually question if Dan was going to die. Like maybe Yaz let go or something and he like was able to hold onto the train down the line or something like that.
I genuinely don't think 13 noticed that he had a hole in his helmet. I think she only noticed when Yaz grabbed his legs he was floating off.
Yeah. 13 was busy.
Yeah, she was. She was very busy, She was very busy. But yeah, so then they kind of jumped in the train and it was like, okay. And you could tell at that point he was having that lingering thought, And that's what he said in the interview. He said something happens in the first bit of the episode where he rethinks and goes, this isn't for me, I need to get out, kind of thing. Like he said that in an interview before the episode even come out. He basically spoiled how Dan's character arc ended.
How Dan was gonna leave.
I'm kind of glad because like it's a good point to make that John Bishop is not like his character. He's an older bloke. He's 42, is he in the show? Dan Lewis.
I can't remember.
He's not someone who can run around. You mentioned it in Legend of the Sea Devils, Crispy. Come on, keep up. But then again, you didn't even know the Carvanista species on that quiz you did on the stream this morning because you rushed to type Carvanista.
I know. It was shocking.
But basically what happened was, like, you know, him just saying that the life isn't for him, and he's realized that it's fair, you know? He basically said he'd tag along on the Flux bit, and then he ended up being stuck in a time loop where Daleks kept killing him, and then nearly got killed in a sword fight with Sea Devils. Like, you're gonna realize quickly, especially after getting a bullet to your helmet in, like, zero gravity, that maybe it's not cut out for you. Yeah. So I think that was a well-handled exit. I'm sad that 13 was so distant with him. I know it's the no-good at goodbyes. Yeah. She wants to avoid the heartbreak of, like, Graham and Ryan again. I get it. But it was a little bit sad. I'm glad that you got a moment with Yaz instead, because it was just...
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. She's like, I'm going to ghost you. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I really like their dynamic between the two. But I would have liked to have seen Di. I know they mentioned that he had a date to go to, and I was like, that's very, very nice. That's very, very nice. But I would have liked to have seen him rock up with Di, maybe at the end there.
It would have been good if she was at the meeting at the end, like, just, like, stood in the background, not in the circle, because she obviously knows about the Doctor via the events of Flux.
Oh, yeah.
So she could have just been, like, in the background, like, kind of almost, like, waving him on, like, you know, like, because it was very much, like, an Alcoholics Anonymous type meeting, and, you know, in those kind of things, you kind of have friends who come along, right, and sit in the back of the room or something. Could have been a very similar thing there, just have her sat in the back listening to them chatting about the Doctor. It's nothing that she doesn't already know.
Yeah, literally.
And as Graham said, that she's not going to lock any of them up, because she already knows that it's true. So, that was a bit
exactly.
But yeah, that exit was done.
Overall, it's okay. It's okay. I was okay with Dan's exit. I feel like it was necessary, and I don't know what else he would have brought to the episode.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
From then, because then it became very much like the Doctor, Yaz, and Master show, with the B plot being the Kate Stewart, Ace, and Tegan stuff, which I really enjoyed, by the way.
Yeah, which I really like. I like that it became Jodie and Mandip and Sasha kind of having their kind of, you know, three-person interaction for a good chunk of it. I really liked that. So then we had the Daleks show up and talk about the Dalek incursion on Earth. I really liked that scene between Jodie and the Dalek. Like, I felt like there was some proper tension there of just her being like, you know, how can I trust you? And the Dalek's like, well, I'm warning you, I don't like my species, blah, blah, blah. And also, I might be wrong here. Is that the first name drop of a Carlad in modern Doctor Who?
Maybe.
Because for those of you who don't know, the Carlads were the original race of people, the same that Davros is, that became the Daleks. They were locked into the tanks and became Daleks. Hence, Carlad, Dalek. And that's, you know, that's how that all happened. So Carlads were the original species name before they became the Daleks by being sealed in the tanks. So I don't believe Carlad as a word has been said in modern Doctor Who. The only time I think it might have been, could have possibly been during the Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. That might have been dropped while you were on Skaro with 12 and Davros, but I don't think it was. Someone in the chat can always correct me if I'm wrong. So when I heard Carlad, I kind of did Leonardo like, oh, he said Carlad. I was like, that's cool. I liked that. And then obviously Jodie mentioned your creator would be happy, and I was like, oh, well, we knew there was a surprise appearance. Davros. I was like, surely not. And I'm glad we didn't.
Little Davros.
That would have been too much to sprinkle in a Davros appearance. Good.
Yeah.
So then we didn't go to the Dalek immediately, did we? The next thing was then Unit, wasn't it?
Right? Yes, I think. I can't remember. And then there were
Ace had that scene in the gallery, and she called Tegan. That happened in between the train and Dan leaving, right? So then there was that, and then
correct.
So
yes, correct.
Let's just talk a bit generally then about Ace and Tegan. How do you think they were handled in the episode?
I was worried. I was very much worried that they were going to be sidelined, but I very much like that they had lots to do in the episode. I like that they kind of split up Ace and Tegan as well.
Yeah,
like it gave them like their own little things to do. And I really liked it. I liked how Ace was calling the Doctor Professor, which was very, very nice. And Tegan, you could see she was like genuinely like pissed off that the Doctor had left her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, she's Aussie. We get fired up a bit easily.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really, really nice and handled really, really well. So I don't know. There's so much to compute right now, Troy, that my brain is kind of going into meltdown.
Yeah,
absolutely. But what did you think?
Oh, I think they were done brilliantly. I like that they got. Yeah, because this is perfect evidence that, you know, if you don't overstuff a Doctor Who episode as long as you give it room to breathe with the things you put in it, because you have put in like all of this time to the episodes to explore these different things, be it the monsters and the companions and all that. And making it an 87-minute episode then gave it the room to breathe and show that stuff off, and it worked brilliantly. I like that Tegan was angry with the Doctor. If this was a
45-minute one... Sorry?
I like that Tegan was angry with the Doctor. You know, because,
absolutely.
I mean, she left on her own terms because she got angry with, like, the whole travelling round thing, right? She kind of just got cold with it. So I like that we got We got her being a bit angry and Ace trying to almost having to keep her in check. Like, we talked about this, just calm it down. We didn't get tons between them, but I honestly kind of liked it because, do you know what? I wonder if you thought the same thing. That scene of Ace and Tegan meeting 13 and Yaz for the first time, very, very heavy school reunion vibes with Rose and Sarah Jane.
Big school
because
reunion
obviously,
vibes.
When Rose shows up and Sarah's like, you can tell you're getting older, your assistants are getting younger. And it's like, I'm not his assistant. That kind of like banter was there again with those there. I loved that. I loved that so much.
I liked it. I really, really liked it.
Sarah Glover
when Jodie...
Go on, sorry, I'll read out the comment in a minute. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I like when Jodie rocked up and she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
She goes, oh, no.
Oh, it's you guys.
Oh, it's you.
Dear.
Oh, the old
no.
exes. Oh. Sarah Glover said in the chat, can someone who's seen Classic explain when the Master was a cat? I haven't seen the episodes because a certain someone here keeps stopping me and it's annoying. But it's the last episodes, I'm pretty sure, of the Classic Doctor Who, Survival. There's like some kind of stuff with cat people in it, and the Master kind of imbues some of their cat people's traits into him because he has cat eyes at one point. It's strange. You could tell that in the 80s, Doctor Who was they were on some Super's Evil Dan would put it, because there was some wild things going on there. There were some wild things going on. So that's why, because Ace met the Master via 7th Doctor then in Survival. I don't know if she met him before that point, but he showed up there. But yeah, so Tegan and Ace were handled fantastically. Kate Stewart, I now get why she didn't have a poster in the lead up to the launch of Power of the Doctor. Because she did, again, the thing is, this time, she didn't have as much to do, but I think that she kind of fit the bill perfectly, because she got to have a few scenes that stood out, but she just didn't have as much as Tegan and Ace, and that's fair, because she isn't a classic companion.
Exactly, no. And I think I enjoyed the scenes that we had with her. I was convinced she was going to be turned into a Cyberman. I was convinced. I was like, oh, it's happening. I was worried
for a second, but I thought, well, Chris Chibnall introduced Kate Stewart, for anyone's forgotten that, because she was in The Power of Three, which was a Chris Chibnall written episode, so she showed up in a Chris Chibnall story. I was like, she's a Chris Chibnall character, unless Stephen Moffat asked him to write her in. So it would be fair for him to be the one to kill her off if he wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was worried about.
I do think they probably pushed it a bit far, having her in the chair for that long, like screaming from the whole cyber conversion thing. I think, but then again, James Corden got sealed in a Cyberman helmet and then just, magically opened it with the power of his mind because a baby was crying. I mean,
the power of love.
The power of love and American talk show hosts.
Oh my goodness. I was sad we didn't get to see James Corden this episode, but alas, I'll take what I can get.
Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that, okay? No, stop. They didn't strap her in for the cyber turn. Wait, they didn't strap her into the chair. Did they need to strap them into the chair? I don't know. Did they strap anyone else in the chair? I'm not too sure.
They just zapped her. I thought Osgood was going to rock up too, as well, Sarah. She just said in the chat. Or at least a reference.
Yeah.
Maybe. It would have been a very easy thing for her to have like a one-line cameo.
Or be at the
like, oh, hey, Doctor.
Because that's one thing we'll get to, but I didn't. Well, might not get to mention it now, but I'm almost a little bit surprised there weren't more modern companions there. But I kind of get it.
Yeah, it was very much a classic thing.
I kind of get it because obviously it's the centenary and it's meant to be like a history of BBC, and that's why other people popped up. Which obviously, wait till we get there.
Oh my god!
The screaming I did.
Jaw to the floor moment.
So I honestly just. I think, so we had the Ace and Tegan arrival, and then after that we went to, was it Bolivia for the meeting with the Master for the volcano? I honestly thought for a minute he had brainwashed Yaz, because there was a bit where he was talking where she seemed like she was just frozen, kind of like stood still, kind of just listening and not really moving or doing anything, and I was like, has he done something to Yaz? Because we'd just seen him brainwash a couple people in
Russia with his eyes or something? That was strange.
Which the effect of him being in their eyes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. The Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker era, continuing to prove that it's the best looking era of Doctor Who.
Amen.
But him getting arrested, and that was another thing, like, I was worried for a minute. I was like, how does this Master link up with Rasputin Master? Like, how do they link together? And I've realised now that when he gets rescued by Ashad, he teleports, and I'm guessing that he teleports back to become Rasputin, and then all those events happen. So by the time that we see Rasputin Master, he's already been locked up in unit and got out. He's already set his plan in motion, so he needs to just live through to see his plan end, which is not the first time he's done that, Spyfall, he lived through to try and see his plan come to an end, so it's not the first time he's done that, lived a bunch of years.
That's true.
Have you any idea how hard it is living through the 20th century?
I can't imagine, Sasha.
Exactly.
Can't imagine.
At least he looked good doing it, At least he looked good doing it.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, your theory didn't come true. I was wondering if they were going to do the old Master, new Master thing.
Yeah. But him being the good Master, I kind of get it. I think that would have been too much to put in there. That would have been too much to put in. I think the way they did it worked out well. I think the way they did it worked out well.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool.
So,
Oh my God,
what
should we
do
talk about the
have
Master?
The Master. Well, yeah, Sacha Dhawan. If that is his end, which I think it is, then he absolutely crushed it. And I've got to say, I'm going to get it for the video version now. Again, for video listeners, Crispy's camera might pause for a second. But there was a image that the Doctor Who Twitter account released of him towards the end of the episode that I thought, when you say, this image went hard, that this has never been more true than this image of the Master. So let me see if I can find it very quickly. That's the trailer audio that I've just heard on my mic, so enjoy that, audio listeners. They'll have just heard a drum from the trailer in the audio file. Sorry, I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of that. I'll try, but no promises.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, so we just copy this. I need to make it a new file and save it as a JPEG, because for some reason, it saves images off Twitter as JFIFs. I don't know what a JFIF file is, and there's a Windows
You keep
noise.
on going on about this JFIF.
I don't know what a JFIF is, but it doesn't work in OBS, so I have to convert it for it to work, and it's really annoying. It's really, really annoying, Crispy. Okay, it's really annoying.
J5th, just 15. Shooty Gatwa is just 15.
Yeah. I have no idea where the image has gone though. I just saved it and it's disappeared. I'm so good at YouTube. My friend.
Oh my goodness. I'm paused looking at you. That's so funny.
Are you actually paused looking at me?
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. Okay,
so
I'm going to save this as Sacha. That'll do. There we go. Right, now it's going to come up. Right, there we go. It was a little glitch. So, here is the image of him.
Oh wow.
That is, for audio listeners, it's him when he's like lying on the ground towards the end and he's like reaching out to the camera with a tissue compressor. That image is just glorious. I love that image. Might be my favorite image of Sacha's Master. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh, everyone is saying bye in the chat. Is someone leaving the chat? Oh, the one-time lady's going. Wow.
Goodbye, one-time lady.
Now I'm going to have loads of gay panic for the rest of the episode that you've left. I'm very sad. Have you seen John Boyega's tweet? I meant to say this to you. Apparently, John Boyega of Star Wars fame has tweeted out David Tennant was the best Doctor. And he's glad that he's come back. Let me see if I can find the tweet.
Unreal. That's funny because John Boyega worked with Jodie on Attack the Block, hey?
He retweeted a video of David Tennant where it said "Welcome home," and he tweeted David Tennant the best Doctor ever. Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
But I guess Doctor Who doesn't really have a global reach anymore.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
No, it doesn't. No.
He looks so hot in that image, says Mateo. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Smash or pass? Smash.
Sacha's Master, as you were saying, absolutely amazing performance. I didn't know I needed to see Sacha Dhawan in Jodie Whittaker's outfit until it happened, and now I'm very glad that we've had it. Because even with the earring, that was just like... Are you okay there, Crispy? He's staring at his phone. He's doing
sorry. No, I've put in annual leave for today. Yeah. And then people are like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm on annual leave." So
yeah, I booked it off because of Doctor Who.
Thank you very much. I took it off because there's been a death in the family. Okay.
There has. There's been a death in the family.
Okay.
It's been a death in the family.
In the fam.
But yeah, so I was just saying, Sacha Dhawan dressed in 13's costume, shouldn't have worked. Really, really, really did. Even the earring, he looked amazing in 13's costume. Did he not?
Oh yeah. Looked absolutely sensational. I wasn't expecting any of that. I thought that so the Master, his plan was to become the Doctor, right?
Yeah,
that was the goal.
So our theory was that he was going to take, my theory is he was going to take the Doctor's lives so he could live forever. He basically did that, just not in the way I was expecting. Because in becoming the Doctor, he obviously becomes his personality's imbued into the Doctor's body, and if the Doctor can regenerate forever, then he basically has stolen the Doctor's power, just not in the way I expected.
Valid point.
He's a Doctor. But probably not the one you were expecting.
No, I mean it was so cool seeing him in the outfit and the earring, as you said. That was pretty iconic. I'm glad they did that.
It was amazing. But just the way that he managed to pull together all of these monsters, because the thing I worried about, I think I mentioned this earlier, was one of the plot holes I was a bit worried about that I didn't understand the first time around. Was I was like, okay, you can spin that he's brought the Cybermen in because he owns the Cybermasters, he creates them, and he's still got the Cyberium inside of him. But how has he got the Daleks to agree? They're not typical for agreeing to things. Do you know what I mean? But then when I watched the second time, I heard him say the line of, I united them because what's the one thing they hate more than anything else? You. And it gave me huge Pandora Opens vibes because obviously, Matt Smith was like, all of you working together? What? And they were like, well, we're doing it because we want to get rid of you because you're going to destroy the universe kind of thing. So, plus the Daleks.
But this time they were like, we just don't like you.
Yeah, true. And they get to be involved in the Earth being destroyed, which has definitely been, a sore point for them for a long time. So
they keep trying.
They keep trying. They almost had it.
Almost had it.
But instead we got all of the volcanoes turning to steel. I mean, what is this?
Into modern
Eternals?
art or whatever she said.
Eternals, turning everything to steel. It's gonna, Eternals reference. Weren't expecting that on this stream today, were we?
No, I was not expecting an Eternals reference.
I don't think anyone's expecting it. I don't think anyone wanted it, but you got it anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
So his plan. I kind of like that at the end of it, all these different things came together. It's a bit like Day of the Doctor, because when Day of the Doctor was first kind of teased in 2013, they were like, there's the Zygons in present day, there's the Time War, there's England in 1516 or whatever year it was with Queen Elizabeth I. I was like thinking, why are there these 3 different things happening in the 50th? This seems like a lot to spread, but they all came together for the one story. Then you got the same thing. You've got modern day paintings being stolen, Train in the future, Rasputin in 1916. Again, it all tied together really, really well. And I like the whole
which was good.
Just the Master trying to get his revenge. That was it. Uniting all of the Doctor's enemies to steal her power.
Simple.
It's a simple idea that worked really well. It worked really well.
It was very nice to see. Very nice to see. And everyone freaking acted their chops off, which was very nice.
Everyone acted their chops off. So, what about his costume that he wore as the Doctor then when he got changed? So,
loved it.
Did you identify every piece of it? Because I think I identified every piece of it.
There was the obviously the scarf. There was the celery. There was David Tennant's tie.
Yep. Peter Capaldi's shirt. And the only reason I'm thinking that was because his cuffs were undone, which was, I don't think some people caught that. The cuffs were undone like Series 10. My mum spotted that first, so I've got to give her credit. I didn't spot it immediately. She clocked that.
Well done.
The check pants were 12s, I think, from when he was in Series 9.
Oh, really?
With the wardrobe. And then I think the boots were 11s, like his original brown boots, I think.
Damn.
But it could have been Jodie's because they're
ridiculously cool.
Yeah,
ridiculously.
The fact that he had all that different stuff and like the CS7 Doctor's jumper and all that, just like, just combining all that stuff was amazing, and it was a great homage to pay to like Doctor Who. And it was I love that in paying homage to, like 100 years of the BBC, they focus on the classic stuff rather than the modern. Because a lot of people have not seen a lot of classic Who, and like it's a good way to kind of make those references. And if you know them, or even if you're like us, we've not seen much of it, but you know a good chunk of it, you can look.
My jaw still drops.
Yeah. And that makes it, because I'd forgotten. We read something out from TV Zone months ago that said that Jodie Whittaker could be wearing old pieces of Doctor Who clothing. Now I didn't think anything of it. Old outfits. I thought it meant she was going to wear the 10th Doctor's outfit at some point, and then the 12th Doctor's, and then I'd forgotten about that even being announced. And then all of a sudden, when she popped back up in that outfit, I was like.
He was like, oh!
I was like, oh, that's the thing that they tweeted about. That that thing they tweeted about.
Exactly it.
Oh, and the second Doctor's flute. Yes, a recorder. Sorry, yeah, second Doctor's recorder.
Yeah, and
of course, that as well.
Of course. That was nice. Yeah, because this episode was very much like a nice homage to classic Who. But I get the feeling that next year we're going to get 3 specials that are very much more homage-y to New Who.
I imagine so. But you know what? Even if we don't get any other Doctors popping up now, it would be sad. But I will not care. Purely because we've had a modern Doctor interaction already. We've had a couple of overlaps. We've had 10 and 11, which was obviously like the peak. We've had 12 and 1 in a sense. I know not everyone loved that because the one was made to be a little bit more sexist than he probably needs to be and all that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple of modern Doctor interactions. I'm so glad that... Because for context, Big Finish, when they've done their Big Finish box sets, and also when they've done... actually, no, it's been for the Doctor Who collections, hasn't it? When they've re-released the classic... Who seasons on these Blu-ray box sets, they often do trailers, and occasionally they brought back the classic actors like the Doctors and the Companions
Sylvester.
To do like little bits for them, and everyone keeps going, look at them, they're dressing up in their Doctor outfits, why can't they do this in the show? And we finally got them to do that.
And we got it.
Speaking of,
and it was so
cool. Let's do it. Let's get in there. So we had a Black Panther ancestral plane style thing going on, which I really liked.
I'm all for.
And Jodie in the flux coat. I didn't think we'd see that anymore. I want that flux coat, man. I want that flux coat.
Favorite costume.
I have
Jodie's
costume. Coat. I honestly was considering getting it out of my cupboard and just like having it over my chair for this episode because she's gone. Should I go and get it?
Yeah, go on.
Should I get Jodie's coat? All right. You talk to the podcast. Everyone's going to see my PJ pants because I wear PJs when we record this podcast because I'm lazy. I'm lazy, people.
That's all right. I'm in my pajamas too, man. I'm in my pajamas.
Entertain the masses. Let me get the coat out the cupboard.
I will entertain. Chat, let me know what you thought about the classic Doctor's appearance in this. I thought it was very, very well done because, of course, they have to justify, that they are a little bit older. They look a little bit different than how they were when they were on on the TV all those decades ago. But it was just genuinely nice. Was not expecting to see Paul McGann. My goodness. That threw me for one. I don't know why, but it was so cool. I liked how their faces kept on changing. I liked all that. Oh, Troy, he's got the coat. He's pointing to something. Is that David? It's David's coat. Nice, dude. Nice. You should be wearing it for today. Everyone's saying yes, it was very nice, but a fan service, beautiful, complete surprise. Yeah, it's nice. The one thing with the Chibnall era, I very much enjoyed the surprises. Oh, Troy, you
Hello.
look fantastic, mate.
Thank you. I've never worn this outside
absolutely-
because I wasn't sure I could pull it off, but I may need to try at some point.
Dude, it looks sick.
Do you think so? Do you think so?
Yeah.
What if I put the hood up? Hang on, what if I put the hood up over there? I'm grabbing the wrong hood. Put the hood up over there. Look at that!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. It's so
Now
creased. I
we're
don't know why it's so
cooking, baby.
creased. I need to iron this thing for real. I need to iron this.
Nah, it looks good.
I feel all snuggled and ready to record the rest of the podcast. Do you know what? I actually can't hear my voice as much now. It's like I'm in like a weird little surround system.
You're in a weird
thing.
little echo chamber.
Legit. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah, I had David's coat in there, and I've got Matt's 11's green coat. I've got David's coat. I've got a black version of David's coat, which I think you've seen, that I custom made that I love. And I've got a couple of Capaldi ones. So I've got a few things. You know, I've got a few things.
You got some good coats.
I'm going to try and make some outfits work with this. I'm going to try and make some outfits work with this because I would love to wear this coat out. I wasn't sure I could make it work. Do you know what I mean? I was like, can I make this work with the things I wear? But I'm going to try. So,
give it a go. Send me pics when you go to the pier, Dad.
I'll go to the pier, Dad. Yeah, I'll wear this next time I go to the pier, Dad. You know.
Yeah.
Where's Jodie Sonic? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh,
I get that reference.
This isn't even the current Sonic anymore. Do you think...
Stop.
I'm going to ask this very quickly, but we're not going to go off sidetrack because we've got to talk about that ancestral plane scene. Obviously, Regeneration changed the clothes. We're not going to go any further. Do you think it changed the Sonic in Jodie's pocket?
Yeah.
I think it probably
100%.
did. I think it probably did.
I think it definitely
Intriguing.
did. I don't know why the clothes regenerated on. That was my one gripe with it.
Apparently it happened with
like,
the first
how?
Doctor to second Doctor, so watch Classic Who. Either way, I liked it because it was something different. Anyway, we'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
TARDIS Central. Shout out to you watching the stream right now, sharing all the Doctor Who
TARDIS
news. That's
Central?
brilliant to see them here. How are we doing
Thank you
live
very
viewer-wise?
much.
Let's just check. 183 concurrent viewers.
Oh,
My brain can't process this. If anyone
better
hasn't
than
yet
Crispy,
subscribed to the
bro.
podcast, please consider doing so. We'd really appreciate it. We have gained 14 subscribers while we've been live, Crispy. We're at 877 now.
Oh,
Can we get to
it's a good
900
day.
by the end of the stream? Can we get to 900 maybe? You
Is
know,
that even a
tell your
possibility?
mum, tell your dad, tell your dog. You know, tell them all to subscribe.
David Tennant is my dad, and I've
Yeah.
told him, and he's
You've told
subscribed.
him. That's great. So, okay. So the scene. So when she got there, and obviously we saw the first kind of like the going up the legs and that, and then I saw the lapel. I was like, David Bradley? He's holding the lapel? It was like, it can't be Williams. It's got to be. And then obviously we saw David Bradley, and I went, what are we doing here?
What else? What else have we got?
I barely hung around in the excitement of seeing David Bradley there because I was like, it's David Bradley. That's brilliant. But I was like,
yeah.
where are you going with this? Because in my head, what was flying around was there are other surprises. It was the Sun tweets. Now, I don't like the newspaper, but I'll quote them for this. They went to the press screening and they went, there are several surprise characters in there that we've been told not to spoil. So that was going round in my head. And as soon as I saw David Bradley, I went, no, don't you dare.
Oh, dearie.
And
Don't give me more.
I'm so glad the first one they showed after that, the first classic Doctor we got to see on the screen again properly was Colin Baker.
Colin Baker.
I am
Yeah, that
so
was
glad
nice.
it was Colin. The man who deserves
was
it more than
nice.
anything. The man who wasn't even there when
Absolutely.
they filmed his Regeneration. Like, he's not...
Yeah.
Bless him, he's not had the best time with Doctor Who in the classic era. He didn't get treated very well. I'm glad that he's, he gets to be the first
Was able to...
there.
It was nice. It was really, really nice.
Mm.
And then I liked how they kept on switching because we got Sylvester as well. And Paul McGann, come on. He wasn't wearing the robes. Like, I brought my own.
He was in the
Yeah.
outfit. I honestly wanted to scream. I wanted to scream, Crispy. And in fact, what am I kidding
was
about? I
so
literally did.
cool.
Because my mum and I both love Paul McGann.
screamed as
He's
well.
one of like our
Yeah.
faves. Like for classic era, he's definitely our fave. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
my mum's not even seen any classic Who. I might get her to try some at some point. I'm still paying for BritBox, so it's a reason to.
Yeah.
So like when he popped up on the screen, obviously I was getting excited over all of them. Oh, she was as well. But as soon as we saw Paul, because we said to him, we said at Wales Comic Con, we were like, you gotta come back into Doctor 2 at some point. He was like, all you gotta do is ask, and I'm there. So Chibbers, love him or hate him, he asked, and Paul bit his hand off, no doubt. Paul bit his hand off. Chibnall canonized Big Finish. Mateo's just said. Is that I thought that was his Time War outfit, not his Big Finish outfit.
Or maybe, screw it, I'll take it if it's Big Finish.
If it is, that's great. I mean, it does obviously throw into question, because obviously Mary Shelley was a companion of the Eighth Doctor, and she was in Haunting of Villa Diodati and didn't know who the Doctor was. Unless actually they write it so that she meets Paul McGann after Haunting of Villa Diodati. Maybe.
Who knows?
Big Finish
Who
people,
knows?
you run wild with that.
Yeah, go.
Let us know what you think. But
Get back to us.
seeing them morph between all of those
Oh
different
my gosh.
doctors was. I keep forgetting the inside of these sleeves are pink. Look at that. The inside of these sleeves are pink. They're lilac. I just went like that and saw on the camera and went, oh yeah, they're lilac.
And you're like, ooh.
I'm gonna have to get this Flux version, don't you think? The dark blue version.
I'll get one too. I'll get one too.
Oh my god! Then we meet up, we both pose. We could meet up and then we wear the different colored coats and like pose back to back.
Nice.
It's a plan.
I like that. Podcast with a plan, baby.
Exactly. Podcast with a plan. We're planning far ahead. Go look up plane tickets, bro. Look up plane tickets.
I will look up some plane tickets. Talk to the chat.
But yeah, so seeing 5, 6, 7, and 8 all together, I was worried for a second because Sylvester took a minute to show up. But I also loved, and someone tweeted this out, I don't know who it was, so obviously I can't credit them immediately, but, oh, your camera has froze for me. Oh, there we go, no, it's just a little bug. You're all good. But like the little dialogue of like Paul McGann being the only one to not wear the robes, and he's like, I'll wear what I want to wear. I loved it. I loved the sass. I love Paul McGann. I love that man. And it was just...
That was so good.
It was so good. It was so good. And I think they gave it... It was such a beautiful thing to do. And then they made it 10 times better by having those little mini scenes of 7 with Ace and 5 with Tegan. Like, you couldn't imagine that up. And the way they wrote it in as like, a hologram that could kind of adapt to the person they're seeing and like know what they're thinking. That is such a great way to do it. It was such a great way to honor it without actually having several doctors there at the same time. Because we had 3 doctors in the Vanquishers, okay, and they were all Jodie, and it was a great plot device, but it was done more to try and tie up everything in Flux. We didn't need that again so soon,
Yeah.
Chibnall looked at the Flux and went, right, there's too many things to tie up. Let's split Jodie up into 3 places, and she could deal with everything together.
She can fix it all. But no, that was like the best way to get all those classic doctors back, because I thought what was going to happen going into this, if classic doctors were going to rock up, I thought that Jodie would be like shifting like through bodies the entire episode. But the fact that we had this AI meant that we got the original costuming, as you said, and I was like, I prefer that. I prefer that 100%.
And I like that, again, it's like Time Crash, a little mini sketch we got with David Tennant and Peter Davison. I like that the fact that the classic doctors have aged and don't look the same is not an obstacle. I like that they either make a joke about it. In Time Crash, it was like, oh, it's us clashing. It makes you look a bit older, but you'll go back to normal. Or just in this going, you look a bit older. I could say the same to you. Cool. You don't have to acknowledge it. It's not something you have to say.
No.
You don't have to look at Sylvester and go, your hair wasn't white. Or look at Paul McGann and go, you don't have curly hair anymore. It doesn't matter. Like, what matters most is that they've come back. And I loved that. I loved that was all they focused on. But I have to mention, especially with the 5 scene, because it's so weird how things work out. Because I have to admit, Crispy, I'm a little annoyed we haven't watched any Classic Who still. And occasionally some clips come up on YouTube and I've just gone, I'm going to watch them. I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
And ironically, a clip that I watched literally within the last week was Adric's death in Earthshock.
Oh.
And I did not know, because Adric, for those of you who don't know, is one of the only companions in Doctor Who history who actually just straight up dies. And apparently in the credits of that episode, they don't even play the Doctor Who theme, it just goes to silent. To kind of mark that he is actually dead. But it's an episode where the 5th Doctor fights the Cybermen and Tegan's there. So the fact that he mentions Adric to her just by name, it's not just like a reference to them, but also because he died while they were fighting the Cybermen, which is what Tegan was fighting. Like, that is a beautiful, like, full circle thing that I loved that.
It's very cheeky.
Yeah.
And the Master would, No, it's very
interesting
cheeky.
With 7 and Ace, though, because obviously we don't know what happened with Ace. Like, we didn't know what happened, and there was some kind of beef there. There was some tension, some drama, some angst.
We still don't know.
We still don't
know.
Maybe they'll explore it at some point, Maybe they will.
Maybe. Ace has such like a cult following in the community. Yeah. So after this, I can very much see them doing something.
Well, a lot of people have said that she was kind of like a good kind of starting point for the basis of Rose Tyler. A lot of people said, that she was a bit of a base plate for Rose. And I've even as recently as like the last few days, people say, does anyone else agree that Modern Who starts with 7 and Ace? Because it feels like they kind of shifted and went a little bit more modern despite it being in the 80s. Like, there's that argument, Ace and 7 were very popular. Ace in particular as a companion was super duper popular. So like her coming back was a huge thing. I mean, it was great for Tegan as well, obviously, but Ace is that one that I knew like so well just for
And Tegan was the one I had to do some research on.
I was thinking
which
about
is
Wales
funny
Comic Con,
she's
and I was going, how many people am I going to meet at this Comic Con? I was like, there's so many. Like Gemma Redgrave, Janet Fielding, and Sophie Aldred are all going to that Comic Con. And I was like, I'm going to want to meet these after the episode. I'm going to want to meet these. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to probably go for a 2-day trip and like meet loads of people.
You can say good day. Well, when is it?
It's start of December, so it's not that far off. So I'll be there, and it'll be amazing. And the episode will be called Troy Met Christopher Eccleston, because in case you didn't know, that's the one that Christopher Eccleston's at. So it's going to be another Troy Met episode. So get ready for that.
Wow.
Get ready for
Well,
that,
I'm getting a
baby.
Crispy Met episode soon, hopefully.
You are. And have you
2
got any
weeks.
further with the booking that you're planning? Did you get approved for that?
No. I haven't seen anything yet, but I looked back when I applied for this. I'm trying to get an interview with this person, by the way, guys. Just throwing that out
for
there.
the podcast.
For the podcast. And yeah, so I applied for a similar media pass back in 2018, and they only got back to me like maybe 3 or 4 days before the con.
Yeah.
So I'm going. There's still about 2 and a bit weeks, so I'm holding off. But hopefully there will be some news soon. But I've booked the photo. I booked an autograph, so we'll see.
Oh,
we'll see.
Fantastic. Oh, well, hopefully
Absolutely
it goes well.
fantastic.
We need some more bonus. We need another bonus clip. When will Troy meet Peter Capaldi? Jack Cumbers. If he had gone out of the backstage door of that play I saw him in, we would be in an alternate universe.
You would have.
So shall I just briefly recap everyone on that story for anyone who hasn't heard it? Because it was a while ago now. People might not have heard it. So I saw Peter Capaldi live on stage in a play called Constellations was it this year? I know my mum's outside because she just shut the door because she's going to bed. I don't know if she can hear me, but she might be able to tell me when that play was. But I think it was within the last 12 months. It's got to be. I think it was late last year.
Right.
It was the last night he was doing it, I'm pretty sure. And obviously we said right from the start, we're going to go to stage door, try and get a photo, try and get an autograph. It was still the tail end of like COVID being a big problem. So like he was kind of being hesitant. He was just taking some pictures a bit distantly, maybe not signing. So I thought whatever we get, we'll get. We go to the stage door. We're waiting there for about half an hour. There's a girl who works at the theatre who's outside the stage door with us. She comes out about 2 minutes into us waiting, stays there for about 5 or 10 minutes, then disappears. And we're like, okay, where's she going? And then she comes back 15 minutes later and goes, oh, you guys are still here? He left out the front door 15 minutes ago. So she went to go and see him out and didn't tell the people who were waiting, which some people may say fair enough, she didn't have to. But other people would say with me, it's kind of like, you could have maybe just said, because there weren't many people waiting. If there'd been a crowd of like 50 people and you were like, pushing a swarm onto him, fair enough.
Yeah.
But there were not many people
Swarm
waiting. It would have been nice. But I'm guessing maybe he just said he didn't want to meet anyone. That's why he went out the front door. It could just be that. We don't know. But either way, I was absolutely devastated afterwards. I was devastated.
You'll meet him one day, mate. You'll meet him one day. I have no doubt.
Yeah,
I have no doubt. When we're running the show, I know if we ask him to come back, he'll say no.
He will,
He
seems very much against
with us or something. He'll have a brunch with us or something, surely.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a nice crispy brunch. Nice bit of crispy
nice
food.
crispy brunch.
Yeah.
Like, you remember the rap I made you?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
But anyway.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Capaldi just saw Troy and went, nope. Says Andy, we didn't even see me. That was the point. I had a lovely Suicide Squad print and a pop I was going to get him to sign one of or either if he was going to sign, but they remain unsigned. Which also, if you think that Jodie pop there is moving, that pop is never moving just because she's left now.
That's a shrine now.
That is a shrine. 1 in 1,300, and it's signed to me. I will always have that as a proud piece of my.
Treasure it.
Probably the best piece of my room,
Troy.
Easily. Someone asked me, like,
Absolutely.
put a gun to my head and said, grab the first thing in this room that means the most to you. That'd be that pop. Easily.
Nice.
Easily.
Nice.
I'm such a nerd, Crispy. This is why you have a girl.
We are nerds. Hey, you know who else are nerds?
Who else are nerds?
All the people in the chat, and I think they should send us some questions related to the episode
I
right
do.
now.
I
and
do.
We'll answer them.
In fact, actually, because we've got a bit more to talk about. Yeah, we have got a bit more to talk about. Okay, so everyone watching, first off, again, thank you for subscribing to the podcast. We're currently at 885 subscribers. Just checking if it's updated.
You are joking.
885. We are 15 off. So there are 172 people watching. If any of you happen to have not subscribed yet, please do. It would be absolutely. We were aiming to get 700 subs before the centenary. We got well over 800, and if we get 900 before the stream ends, I think I might cry. We might just cry.
I might cry.
I mean, I've cried enough this week, already. So, House of Dragon finale's tomorrow. Might be another thing to make me cry. Mock the Week ending. I cried for 10 minutes at the end episode of that. Cried about 6-7 times tonight at Doctor Who. Why not just have me cry constantly? I don't care at this point.
You know what?
I don't care. So
you'll be dehydrated, mate. You'll be absolutely dehydrated.
I genuinely will be. So everyone, get your questions ready. We're not gonna say do them just yet. Get them ready. Actually, put them in your chat and then copy them and get ready to paste them and just hit send when we say. Because we're gonna go through a bunch and we might probably have half an hour of a Q&A section. We've got to talk about Jodie's death/regeneration, and then we've got to talk about the ending. They're the two big things. We can go into more details after this. We haven't even mentioned Vinda. I don't know what your thoughts on Vinda are, but my kind of thoughts are, it felt very much like bringing a character back to be in the story because he was a Whittaker era companion, same as Graham.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer
neither of them needed to be there.
inclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of them needed to be there, but they said it was like, because especially in the TARDIS when they were all around the console, it felt very Journey's End.
That was
So
nice.
it was like he was
Yeah.
trying to do his own little
When
mini
she
Whisker
looked up.
version of that and having all of them together.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a lovely kind of
No.
twist.
That was nice. I thought that Vinder was going to be the reason she regenerated because he shot the Master when, like, the Master was in the Doctor's body.
Yeah,
And
I was thinking about that. I was like,
is that in turn he didn't think it through, and like Jodie's like, oh my gosh, I'm still like shot from that,
yeah.
and that's the reason. Vinder would have felt so bad, but
Yeah. But I guess because he degenerated, became a different incarnation. Because that's the thing. Because technically, I don't know whether she was meant to be a new regeneration, but I guess because she went back, she doesn't have the same 15 minutes, like 15 hours of regeneration cycle. I'm a bit... Because they said during that, at the start of the regeneration, you're weaker. But, like, you know, that applies sometimes, and then other times you can get your hand cut off and it grows back. So I think it kind of is a bit teeter-totter. But let's talk about her death. I was wondering in the last 20-25 minutes, I was thinking, how is she going to die? Because she went, I've got a whole new lease of life, then got in the TARDIS a bit stumbly, and I was like, so how is she going to die? How is this going to happen? And then we get the Master crawling out of his TARDIS, which, by the way, we thought it was future Doctor's TARDIS. No, it was Master's. And interestingly, bit of trivia, you might not have picked up, I saw in the subtitles, he had a Type 75 TARDIS, which apparently was much more powerful than Jodie's, because the Doctor's is a Type 40. And she said made a comment like, Type 75, much better than mine, bit too flashy for my tastes, though. So he had a better version of the TARDIS, which he mimicked to be like 13's. But it was
like Jodie's, yeah. Which was a way for them to save money as well, but yes, it was good.
So she told that, what was it called? What was the giant energy creature called that powered the planet?
I can't remember, but I was almost convinced that was the Timeless Child.
I thought as well. My mum looked at me and went, is that the Timeless Child? And I was like, I think it might be, but it wasn't.
Yeah. No, it didn't end up being.
It sounds like
Which
Quartz.
Is fine.
It isn't Quartz. I'm going to call it the Quartz until someone gives us their name in the chat, because it sounded a bit like Quartz. But telling the Quartz to basically destroy the planet, then they'd be free. I was like, that's quite nice. That's like a nice little thing. But then obviously the Master somehow directs it with a tissue compressor. I'm going to try not to overthink it too much, because I don't really know how he did that.
It's who, but regardless, it still worked for me.
Yeah, him crawling out, like, almost like bleeding out kind of thing as he's dying. Another Master death where we see the body, but we don't see, like, you know, very Missy-esque when we see the body and we don't know what's going on. So
we don't know what's happening.
We'll leave it to Russell, no doubt. If he's doing a few seasons, he'll bring the Master back, I would imagine. But
100%.
But we got Jodie getting blasted away by that laser, which I immediately was like, oh no, here we go. And
here we go.
We then got what I might look back on as my favourite thing in the entire Jodie Whittaker era, because nothing screams cinema more to me than Yaz carrying 13 to the TARDIS with all those explosions behind them. The companion carrying the Doctor.
Of the Whittaker era.
The companion carrying the Doctor. Excuse me? Oh,
Beautiful.
The Karunks is what people say in the chat is what it was called. Karunks. Quartz just sounds easier, honestly.
What's the Karunks?
The hurricane. And it actually was. It was the hurricane that killed her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shot was just... It was absolutely phenomenal. And we got a few scenes of, like, you know, Yaz and Jodie being a bit close, the hand on the glass when she came back out of like, the Master's version
when
of the body.
That happened, I was like,
and that, and, like, you know, them looking at each other and staring at each other. I honestly, they laid it down and she was like, she's fine. I thought, is she fine? And I realized that was Yaz in denial, being like, she's fine, she's okay, she's okay.
She's fine, she's good.
This is my only tiny gripe about the regeneration. But almost in a way, actually, it's kind of like Christopher Eccleston's in a sense, because it wasn't kind of built up to it, just started. It felt like, you know, oh, she's okay, she went to sleep, she's woken up, and then all of a sudden she's regenerating, and she's like, I'm not ready. It did feel a tiny bit sudden, because I wasn't sure when she got blown by the laser whether that was enough to kill her, because she got picked up and she was awake, fell asleep, woke up again. I was like, is that enough? Has that done the damage? So I felt a little bit of unease, like, has this been enough? Because with Capaldi, I mean, he got shot by a Cyberman, 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 and then he blew up an entire floor of a ship. Like, at that point, you're like, he's going to... I mean, we knew he was regenerating after the first shot, let alone the other extra ones he got. But I honestly like, it actually, now I think about it, it's very much like Part of the Ways, where, you know, instead of the companion waking up, the Doctor woke up, and the companion was the one flying the TARDIS, and then the hand starts glowing.
Yeah. No, that was cool. I liked how she had her sticky notes and stuff.
Yeah, I loved that, because we obviously got a hint from Flux that she was learning to fly the TARDIS with Jodie, you know, co-pilot and all that.
Which was nice.
Which I love. But that scene might be my favourite performance from Mandip Gill, of her realising that she needs to regenerate, and Yaz being there, like, I know what's happening, and
100%.
her crying her eyes out, like, nodding, like, the facial expressions was just... I've already seen someone today tweet saying, oh, Mandip Gill was, you know, she was good, but Yaz's character was wasted, blah, blah, blah. Screw off. I don't care. No, Yaz was fantastic.
Nah.
They, like, especially
Yaz was great.
Flux onwards, they really pushed Yaz to her potential. I personally feel like she got to be more of her own character than she had with Ryan and Gray and around.
Oh, definitely.
And I
100%.
I love that so much.
I really liked what they did with Yaz. I mean, I am disappointed that we didn't get a sneaky Phasmin kiss for 10 minutes.
We have to talk about this because obviously I'm wearing my Phasmin t-shirt and I kept making the joke for 10 minutes. And you know what's really funny? Today I watched Eve of the Daleks and Legends of the Sea Devils, and having watched them again and watching Power of the Doctor, do you know what? I don't mind that much that we didn't get a kiss.
No,
At a few points in the episode, I really thought we were pushing
unrequited.
it. Especially the burning hand they were holding each other as she was about to regenerate. I would have loved one there, or when they were on the TARDIS. But I realised that they genuinely were, like, someone said the feelings weren't acknowledged, and I've seen people on Twitter already accusing it of queer baiting, and I am not, obviously, again, we've said this thing before, not a joke, but straight white man, obviously not got all the experiences and can't relate to queer baiting in the same way.
We're not the best.
The way I see it is, looking back on the specials as a whole now, knowing how it ends, I can kind of see in Sea Devils, they did basically confess they had feelings for each other. We know Yaz had a moment to express it in Eve of the Daleks, and 13 in her own way explained it in Legend of the Sea Devils. It would be you. If I could do it with anyone, it would be you. Let's just live in the moment. I think a lot of us were kind of hoping that they would kind of give in at the end as it was all going to an end, but I'm kind of glad they didn't now in retrospect, because they acknowledged their feelings and said, let's just enjoy the moment, and they did. And there were definitely moments that suggested there was more there than just a friendship, but they didn't need to go further because they'd already acknowledged it in a way. At least me personally. We got this extra lingering glances, the hands on the glass, the looking like that I don't want it to end. There were a few romantic glances, and I like, in a way, I like that it didn't go further. I kind of do.
No, I completely agree.
I'm happy either way, which I'm genuinely, honestly, I wouldn't have thought I would be, but I am genuinely happy that it didn't happen in the same way I would have been happy if it happened. I would have loved it to happen. It was nice. But I'm not annoyed that
it's still, like, it feels almost even like more tragic the way things happen. You know, the doctor was like, all right, we're gonna have one little ice cream together, and what a shot, by the way, of them looking at Earth.
Apparently, someone suggested it could be a callback, and it might actually be to Brian, Rory's dad from the Matt Smith era, because he said before he got dropped back off, he wanted one last thing, and he sat on the edge of a TARDIS drinking a cup of coffee, looking over Earth,
having a look.
So that could be a nice little Chris Chibnall callback. It might have been unintentional.
Nice little Chris Chibnall thing.
It might have been unintentional, but a Chris Chibnall character in a Chris Chibnall episode, doing the same thing that Jodie and Mandip finished off their era with, might be nice.
Yeah.
And there was a few times when 13 was nearly crying, especially on the TARDIS with the ice cream. And you know, like, the thing I loved about that was it didn't feel like 13 was crying. It felt like Jodie was crying. It felt like it was her own performance coming through via the Doctor, which I think was really special.
No, definitely.
I thought it was really, really special. And then she just dropped her off. I'm surprised that she said don't say goodbye, which I think is maybe them leaving the door open in case Yaz ever wants to come back, if they ever want to bring back an old companion. I would love to see
a little cameo.
Yeah. But it was almost
which
kind of weird that they didn't say goodbye, but I guess, again, it kind of links to the way they are. They can't really say goodbye, and it's almost like Sarah Jane Adventures. Sarah Jane, sorry.
Well, she asked us, being like, don't do it. Don't say goodbye.
Yeah, Sarah Jane wanted the Doctor to say goodbye. Now we've got someone who said, don't say goodbye. We've got mirror images, you know? Like, like Sarah Jane, when she was Yaz's age, and maybe she had feelings for the Doctor, which we kind of suggested in passing. You know, there was always this one man, but I don't know whether there actually ever was romantic feelings between Sarah and the Doctor, or any hints. Classic fans could tell us. But, you know, if Sarah Jane was Yaz's age at that time, she'd have wanted the Doctor to not say goodbye. It's almost like, imagine if Yaz had been Sarah Jane's age, she would have been like, no, say goodbye. Let's end this off here. I'm a little sad that they had to cut Yaz off. I felt like Yaz would get a more definitive reason to stay behind, rather than Jodie saying, I need to do this alone. Why have you got your hand up? Just...
Troy, I've got some news, bro.
You've got some news? What?
I've got some news.
What is your news?
I've seen something online.
Do you want to link it, mate?
Something. Nah, you already have the link. We just hit 900 subs, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
901 subscribers.
Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you all so much.
It's happening very quickly.
Thank you
very,
all so
very
much.
Quickly.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate that. That's so lovely of you all. You're all amazing. All right. Can we get to 1,000?
Sorry to interrupt like that.
Can we get to 1,000 by the end of the stream? Can we get that?
1,000.
No, I mean, seriously, anyone else unsubscribed, get us towards a K. I mean, our goal is to get it by the end of the year. I think we can easily do that now. We can easily do that, but 900 for Centenary, that's beautiful. Thank you all so much. I mean, if we can finish on at least 904, 9 plus 4 is 13.
Nice. Good thinking. Good thinking, boy.
903 now. Oh, amazing. Thank you all.
It's all happening.
So, Helena behind. It felt a little bit like, I'm sad that Yaz didn't get a more specific reason to step off the plate than you know, in the background, this is the end of an era. We have to sign off this companion so we can go into Russell's era. That was a little tiny gripe. I feel like Yaz should have kicked and screamed a little bit more. But I kind of like that she was mature enough to understand it because she's a companion that has struggled a few times with leaving Jodie behind. You know, she was angry after 10 months in Revolution of the Daleks. She was kind of accepting and just glad to see her after 4 years with Survivors of the Flux to the Vanquishers. You know, she's gone from anger to, like, kind of accepting it or kind of missing her to just going, I understand, you know, I guess we just have to split.
This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's so bittersweet. And like I don't know, Jodie and Mandy, like their chemistry, especially in this episode, I was like, oh, okay. I will miss both of them very much. I will miss them so much. Very much so. So much. So that was phenomenal. I feel like there's definitely more things we can talk about. Like we said, we're going to try and do another episode to break this stuff down. We'll probably end up repeating points. It might be a shorter episode, but I think we need another episode to kind of sleep our thoughts absolutely.
Through. So you
think it through.
You free on Tuesday, buddy? You free on Tuesday?
On Tuesday?
Yeah, you free on Tuesday?
Yeah. Wait, when are you planning to put all these episodes up?
So this episode's going to go up as soon as it can on audio. So hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. We record the next episode on Tuesday, and then the one after with our guest on Wednesday. Let's not move him around because he's got this week's better for him.
And that can be the week after.
Actually, viewers, dear podcast viewers, right now, because you can help us, because obviously if we're going to record several episodes in advance, getting audience responses for episode 33 is going to be challenging. So, two things. On the comment section of this stream, I think you can leave comments now in the actual comment section. We want try and do these as separate comments, by the way. Don't do these in the same comment because it'll make it easier for us to pull it out. Reviews of Power of the Doctor. We want to read some out tomorrow and get full reviews from you guys. Please leave reviews for the episode. Second off, this is the big one. The one we're recording with a special guest on Wednesday is looking back on Series 5. So we want you guys to give us your thoughts on Series 5. So in the comment section below, a comment for what you think of Power of the Doctor and a separate comment for what you think of Series 5. As many of you can do that as possible, we'll pull some out for the episode recordings. And that way, we still have fan interaction despite recording a few episodes in a chunk. Okay? There we go. Managerial stuff out the way. Managerial stuff out the way.
Beautiful. Well done.
And actually, anyone listening to this on audio, if you're listening to it before we've recorded on Tuesday, Wednesday, go do it. There'll be things to comment on episode 30 and 31. Feel free to do those, but go do it. YouTube comments. You can't leave comments during the stream. Okay, write a note down. Or something. Like, write something on your phone. When the stream's ended, go and leave a comment. Yeah. Do it after stream. So, last thing we got to talk about before we get audience questions, before we wrap up. Regeneration. I am so happy that the Regeneration looked as beautiful as I thought it was going to.
It was exactly how I imagined it.
Do you know what I loved?
Exactly how I imagined it.
It kind of felt like a whole body impulse thing. Instead of just shooting your arms out, she kind of almost, for lack of a better term, she almost vomited into the Regeneration, which was kind of a weird, but I really liked it. She kind of went,
it was cool.
And then went like that. And it was beautiful.
Well, it was obviously a big one. It was obviously one of the biggest regenerations the Doctor's ever had. Yeah, it was amazing.
And 13's theme. Both playing when she was waking up the TARDIS, and then mainly when she regenerated. I was hoping so much we'd get 13's theme.
Perfect.
And while
she was regenerating, I was like, that's the best rendition.
I was crying.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I cried then. I cried when we saw Ian in the group.
Really?
Huddle,
oh yeah, in the group scene. We need to mention that, of course. Yeah, so John Bishop and Graham and Bradley Walsh being on set together was legit. They were both in the episode.
It was legit.
That scene was beautiful with all the classic companions. Again, I'm glad it was classic.
Yeah.
It gave classic more.
It was so beautiful. Yeah. I was wondering if we were going to see Martha in there.
And seeing Jo.
It would have been.
Seen Jo, especially because she's been in a couple of bits, like Sarah Jane. It was nice to see her.
With Sarah Jane and stuff, yeah.
I loved that.
No, that was really nice. But yeah, and then he was like, huh?
So good. So
that was really nice. That was really nice.
I love her closing words. I thought there'd be more of a speech from the way she hyped it up, and I'm going.
I thought there would be more of a speech as well.
The blossomiest of blossoms apparently is a third Doctor reference. He said something similar at one point in one of his episodes, like the daisiest of days or something. I think it was. He said so that was meant to be a reference. Yeah. But I love. I want to see what's next. Here you go, Doctor. Tag you're it. That honestly might be
so
my favorite last line of a Doctor.
Tag, you're it.
So you were fantastic, and so was I. Great. I don't want to go. Great at making me cry. What was it? I will always remember when the Doctor was me. That's great. Mm-hmm. And Doctor, I'll let you go. But tag, you're it. It's so beautifully childish and jovial.
It's Jodie too.
It's so 13. Yeah. People who say 13's personality was kind of based on the Doctor's. She took roots from some of them, but she was her own Doctor. She had her own childish personality, and that was the perfect closing line for her. But Jodie Whittaker, as I told you, I said to you so many times, I'm not sure if it was just me, but I said to you so many times that it was so suspicious that Ncuti Gatwa was never tied to the number 14. And that's
Very
what made me think
suspicious.
it could well be that David was going to be termed as 14. And now, Jodie Whittaker has regenerated into David Tennant. And you know what? I never mentioned it on the record, but the one thing I hoped in my head, I was thinking, I wonder if they'll call back the teeth line. Because obviously the first thing he said was new teeth, that's weird. I thought, I wonder. And then he did the same face and sucking his cheeks in and then went, I know these teeth.
I know these teeth.
And I was like, I screamed. I honestly screamed. I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
So
and we
cool.
got the Watts.
And
we got the Watts.
We got the Watts, Troy. We got our Watts in for the day.
Fantastic.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen.
Mate, you have no idea how happy I was about that. It was so good. I love that the outfit changed. It is weird and it's different. But I like different things happening occasionally. You know, we don't have to have all the same things happen for the Regeneration. I like that she's just straight up gone, right, she's going to have a change of threads. Badoosh.
It was just nice because we have seen like so many filming pictures of this outfit. And I was like, I can't wait to see it on screen. And I can't believe today was the day that I actually got to see that on screen. Yeah. Didn't think we were going to get that. But it looks sick. It looks sick. It looks awesome.
Basti in the chat saying 10 meta and 14. What a resume. Well, technically, in Doctor Who canon, he was 11. And 12, and then the Meta Crisis.
Don't go with the numbering. Don't go with the numbering.
He's had 4 different Doctors, because he regenerated in Stolen Earth Journey's End, don't forget. Then there was the Meta Crisis, so that's 3 Doctors, and now the Bridge 14th Doctor. He's technically been 4 Doctors.
He really didn't want to go.
He really didn't want to go, and look, he hasn't. He hasn't gone after all that.
He hasn't.
He's come back again. And some people are annoyed. I know some people on Twitter were saying if we see David Tennant not shooting, I'm going to be annoyed. I kind of get it. Not everyone has the David Tennant nostalgia, but as someone who grew up with him, as someone who's met him, who loves that man so dearly, who is, don't get me wrong, extremely excited for Shooty. I'm very glad we got a sneak of him in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very glad to have a bit more of David.
We still got to see a little bit of Shooty
to lead
today.
on to what's new is a beautiful way to do it. I love it. I love that so much. And I love that outfit. I'm so glad we got to see the outfit properly on the screen. That's going to be a cosplay push as soon as I can to get those pieces. If I can get that together for Wales Comic Con, that would be amazing. I don't know if I'll pull it, but it would be amazing if I could. But I will be trying that. Matteo saying, I didn't like the outfit change. I wanted to really see Crispy's dad in Jodie's costume, earring and all. The only reason I think I'm happy with us not seeing that is because we saw Sacha do the same thing. We didn't need to see.
We saw Sacha with it, yeah.
That might be why, actually.
The gimmick was done.
Because it might have been a reuse of a gimmick and going, oh, do we need another person in Jodie's costume if Sacha's just done it? It might be that.
Yeah.
You know?
Who knows?
But then again, I think Russell might have chosen
they filmed
that way.
so much later, I reckon. I can guarantee Jodie and David were not on set the same day.
Yeah.
Can guarantee you.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's our very rough thoughts on Power of the Doctor. So for the next 10-15 minutes, Crispy, should we take some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
absolutely. I'm going to have some brekkie soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your questions if you have them into the stream live chat now, and we're going to pick some out and read
right now.
Bear in mind, there are 180 people watching, so if you're all slapping comments
goodness.
we might not see them all, and we're very sorry for that, but we will try our best. Okay, we will try our best. Let's just check our sub count while we're waiting. 911 subscribers.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Thank you all so much.
Oh, geez. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, you go. I love how you can just tell there's a stream delay, because all of a sudden then everything just pops up at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, who's going first?
I'll go first. I'll go first. What this is from Jack Cumbers. What did you think of what do you think about the absolutely gobsmacking VFX? The VFX in this looked amazing. I'll say it. It's one of the best looking Doctor Who episodes I've had in a long, long time. Like looking episodes. From the train scene to the regeneration. Thank you very much. Troy, what's your face? What?
I agree with all that. I've just realised something that I didn't clock until now, and I kind of realised in the episode and forgot. We never went back to the fob watch.
No.
The TARDIS still has the fob
still
watch.
There.
Chris Chibnall's left the door open if Russell wants to take it.
If Russell wants to do it.
I really like that.
That's pretty cheeky.
I like that.
I don't know if Chibnall's going to write for Doctor Who again, but if he does, he might.
Unless I really ask for it. Watch. Wow. Intriguing. Oh, wow. Mr. Scholar just points out there's 31 main episodes of our podcast, which equals the 31 episodes of Chibnall's era and Whittaker's era of Doctor Who.
You are joking. That's beautiful.
This. I'm telling you now, we planned this, okay? All those weeks off, it was all planned. It was all part of our podcast with a plan. Amelie? I don't want to read the name out wrong. Amelie? I don't know. Amelie? I'm going to say Amelie. I'm going to go with that. Sorry. I'm really sorry. What did you think about seeing the Fugitive Doctor? So, for anyone who was expecting to get more Timeless Child stuff, I've said this before, I feel like that was already wrapped. Okay? Chris Chibnall opened up the door on the Timeless Child, and he wasn't going to give us all the answers. We now know that the Doctor is someone who has lived more lives beyond William Hartnell, one of them being the Fugitive Doctor. But to me, I guess maybe I'm just one of those people. I don't need to know all the answers right now. I don't
I'm
need
fine
to
with the
know
mystery.
every single bit of
I'm
detail.
fine with the mystery.
And although it's criminal we didn't get more of Jo Martin's fugitive doctor, I'm not upset that the way we got her in this episode was just a hologram. Because we knew she was going to be in it. And I mentioned this already. Matt Stevens said this at Gallifrey 1 4 or 5 months ago, but everyone seems to have forgotten that he said that. Because I saw so many tweets leading up to the episode going, I hope Ruth's in it. And I was like, we know she is. But okay. But I think the way I'm glad they got to have her in, but then not open the Timeless Child can of worms again. You know, we got a bit of a glimpse of something she did during Flux. We know that she's kind of had, you know, she's lived a life before, and we kind of know bits from the comics and stuff. But you know, if Russell wants to bring her back, he can. And I think it'd be nice to see her come back. I don't know if Russell will bring her back though, because Chibnall's era is so standalone. I said this to you yesterday in episode 30 about, you know, how Chibnall's era feels so standalone in the way it looks and feels and all that, and even the way some of the characters perform and are written and that, it might be weird seeing some of them pop up again, but I think Russell could do it.
Oh, definitely. I think your best point of call, if you want more Jo Martin Fugitive Doctor, is our friend of the podcast, Dom, will be producing the Big Finish series with her. So get excited for that. And I can almost bet you they're going to dive into Division and all that fun stuff. So
well said. Well said. I fully agree. I fully agree. Crispy, you're up next. What have you got?
Okay, I haven't even had
there are so many questions.
Would you like?
I'm so.
Would
sorry,
you like
everyone.
to? This is from. I've always read out Sarah's, but Sarah has said, "Would you like to see a companion group and unit spin-off?" Because Kate did mention at the end, oh, there might be some job opportunities opening up. So
spin-offs would be great. And Nina reminds you that the guy now running Doctor Who again, as of this moment, is the man who introduced 2 very good spin-offs to Doctor Who. If he gets the backing,
I think he's going to do it again.
He could do it.
He's going to do it again. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see Yaz work for Unit and then bring Martha back.
Oh,
can you imagine Kate, Yaz, and Martha spin-off?
Oh, Yaz and Martha together would just be amazing.
Yaz and Martha together would be sick. Can you imagine the conversations they'd have? Because, I mean, Martha, people criticize Martha because she was kind of like pining over the Doctor a bit too much. Like, oh, we've already had Rose and whatever. Yeah. And then we had Yaz, who very much loved the Doctor, but it wasn't meant to be. You can imagine exactly the type of interaction they'd have.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It'd be very cool.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It would be so good.
So yes, I would like to see that.
Yeah. Can I just ask the live chat something? Because there's all these people watching. Anyone who's not dropped a like on the podcast, could you do so, please? Because there's 170 viewers right now and only 87 likes. Let's get the likes well over 100. Come on, everyone, please. I'm begging you.
Let's do it. First episode to get over 100.
I'm on my knees, everyone. I'm on my knees begging you.
I'm on my knees.
All right. Yeah. Honestly, there's so many. We're not going to get to read. I'm so sorry, everyone. This one's not a question from Dylan Thompson, so I'll read this out and then I'll pick an actual question. She wants to say, a great send-off for Jodie's Doctor, extremely true to her character and so hopeful. I want to see what happens next. Tag, you're it. Yeah, that, like we said, that's my favourite ending Doctor line. I can say that now with confidence. I love that. Right, the next question. Connor W, do you think we could see more classic companions in one of those 3 specials for the 60th, i.e. Susan needs to appear in the New Who before it is too late? I kind of said this to you already. If they don't do any more classic callbacks in the 60th, I won't mind it. I think they should, but I wouldn't mind it if they don't. But as you said, I think it might be a bit more modern Who focused in the 60th. What do you think?
Sorry, I was reading questions.
But we're talking about how many classic and modern callbacks there might be in the 60th. Like who you'd want to see.
I think knowing Russell, he will do the fan servicey thing, and I think there definitely will be some classic references. A lot of people are saying that Mel's going to be in one of the specials, so get excited for that. But I mean, honestly, if you want new Who references, I feel like your best bet will be maybe a Matt Smith cameo.
Yeah, I think, because remember David Tennant did say they filmed loads of stuff we don't know about, including that blooming hallway scene. Oh, which, by the way, actually, I realised we didn't mention this during the main recording, but we need to just recap the actual news. If you haven't seen the article posted by the BBC and by Doctor Who, the gist now is we are not going to get a new episode of Doctor Who now for 13 months approximately, maybe a little bit less, because it has now been confirmed the 3 specials they filmed earlier this year. Goodness knows why they filmed them this year if this is the case, but whatever. I guess it was maybe to jump some interest or some hype, maybe for the return, whatever. Or maybe it genuinely was scheduling conflicts. Who knows?
Maybe it was scheduling.
But next year, November 2023, for the 60th anniversary, all 3 specials that have been filmed will be airing in that November. It has been confirmed by the BBC. And on top of that, Ncuti Gat was 15th Doctor. It has been confirmed David is 14, Ncuti is 15. That Ncuti's first episode will air during, and I quote, the festive period of 2023. Which means it could be New Year or since Russell has already been doing his little Christmassy hints on Instagram, we know what he's like for Instagram. He's a little devil with his teasers. I think it will be a Christmas special next year. I think there'll be 3 episodes in November and a Christmas special.
So hang on. So let's say the first episode airs November 23rd. All right.
Right.
And then what? We go 1 more week in November, and then we have the first week of December. And then we have a little break for a couple weeks, and then you're saying Christmas Day, and then we get a full series after that.
Ooh, I don't know. It might just be a Christmas special to rev up, like a Christmas Invasion style thing.
Yeah, and then I reckon
then the
maybe
season
Easter
in 2024. I think maybe.
Yeah.
But they could do what Series 12 did and start on New Year's Day and then just keep going, but do it Christmas Day, maybe. But as for when you think the special will air, I reckon the last one will air on the 23rd.
The last one will air on the 23rd.
Well, actually, let me just check the calendar for next year, which is not something I do very often. What date of the week does the 23rd of November fall on? Let's find out.
Oh, this is a very interesting question, actually.
It's a Thursday.
Thursday? Oh, it's a Friday for me. I'll take it. Friday night. No worries.
I was thinking they could air it on like 3 consecutive ones, then line up for the last one to be on the anniversary. But they might do like, if they go back to Saturdays, it could be like the 11th, the 18th, the 25th, maybe. I think it makes sense for the last one.
Maybe they'll do it
around.
3 days in a row.
Oh, imagine that. In midweek, Doctor Who? No way.
Back to back to back.
I hope they don't, because it means our podcast is going to have a struggle. You know, if we're still going by that. Will we still be going next year, Chris?
We 100 million episodes, mate.
100 million.
100 million.
100 million. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's do that. So yeah, how did Graham get into the volcano? Is Jack Cumbers' next question. Oh, sorry. I think, was it your turn?
No, I'm happy to answer it.
You answer it. Go on. How did Graham get into the volcano?
He just met up with John Bishop, Mr. Dan, and he was like, "Oh, where's the doctor?" And I heard something about a volcano. And then Graham was just looking for the pierhead, and then he managed to find his way to the volcano. It's very basic. He's very basic. Very basic. He got a flight.
Very basic. Dog.
He was looking for Ryan. And he's like, "Oh, I'll have a look at this volcano."
And Ryan was too busy being in some American film or playing basketball. Swish.
Yeah. Swish.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. For everyone saying about Shooty appearing in the next time trailer, which we haven't talked about much, but we have, the 10th Doctor saying, or the 14th Doctor saying, "I don't know who I am anymore." We get shots of Donna and Neil Patrick Harris. I think that's better, us breaking that down in the next episode properly.
I think that'll be a next episode.
Fresh thing for the next episode.
Yeah.
Plus then we can put David Tennant in the thumbnail. Because by the way, I'm going to update the thumbnail for this episode, and I'm going to put like Jodie's regeneration, like some kind of shot of that in the middle box.
I was going to suggest that as well.
Yeah. I don't think. Should we update the pictures for the thumbnail, or do we need to do that? We could do it with me with Jodie's coat on. We could do it like
wear that for the next episode as well.
Perfect. Let's do that. Okay, cool. We're just planning this out now.
Podcast with a plan, baby.
What was it? Oh yeah. So everyone's saying Shooty's wearing the same shirt and tie as David Tennant. I think that's intentional. Either there's going to be some kind of mirror thing where he's wearing the same thing, or that is after he's regenerated from David Tennant. Maybe something happens out of nowhere and he suddenly becomes Shooty at the end of the 3rd episode and goes, "What the hell is going on?" as he says in that clip. I don't think that's actually Shooty's outfit. I think it's just a leftover from David's. I don't believe we have seen anything of Shooty's outfit yet. But that's just me. What about you? Or do you want to save your thoughts for when we talk about it tomorrow or on Tuesday?
Let's put a lock on that. I've got some things I want to say.
All right. Crispy, do you want to pick the next question?
Yes, I would.
Do it then.
James Ferguson has said, "Would you rather have David Tennant come back, considering he's already come back before, or would you have preferred Eccleston to come back?" I think I would have flipped my bed if I saw Eccleston back. I would be like,
Fantastic.
"What? How did they pull that one off?" But no, knowing what they've filmed, knowing a teeny tiny slither of what they've filmed, I very much expected it to be either David or Shooty like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were going. We already had enough returning doctors in this episode. I would have liked it if Eccleston and maybe Smith were in the sequence where what did you call it? The Black Panther-esque sequence.
Oh, the ancestral plane.
Yeah, if they were in there for a split second, I would have been like, "That's sick."
I was weird, but I'm kind of glad we didn't get that.
No, I'm kind of glad we didn't either.
Yeah. Why do you think the Phasmin kiss didn't happen, says Jessica Veal? The director's choice, maybe anyone else's choice. We discussed this a little bit earlier, but to recap for anyone who's, come in stream now, I watched all 3 of the specials in one day today, and it very much seems like they did, they acknowledged they had the feelings, but they weren't going to pursue them properly, and that's why there isn't a kiss in Power of the Doctor. There are references, and there are hints, and there is definite romantic chemistry there at several points, especially none more so than Yaz carrying 13 like some kind of action movie hero. There's romantic things there, but they just don't kiss
awesome.
because they know they feel that way. But as soon as they kiss, that's just going to make things worse. It's going to make them even more attached. It'll make things even harder. So, as you said, I'm not going to say it's not queer baiting because we are not in the position to acknowledge how everyone would feel about it, especially considering we are not members of the LGBT community. We are not going to have those experiences. For me personally, I don't feel like it was. I think honestly, all I would recommend is that everyone watches the 3 specials back to back because the first episode
have a look at that.
Yaz acknowledging it. The second episode is the Doctor acknowledging it, and the third episode is them both knowing it and both kind of having that chemistry, but they've already agreed in the second one they just can't pursue it because it's too dangerous.
They can't do it.
I think
I'm completely fine by that.
I think having seen all 3, I can see that pattern now in a way that I couldn't when I first saw Legend of the Sea Devils because I haven't watched the episode in full since it came out. So I think
literally.
I think that's just something to suggest. But again, as we said, we're not going to say it isn't queer baiting because you guys might feel like it is, and that's perfectly valid if you do. And if you do, then all we can say is we're sorry because we don't want that to be the case. We don't want people to feel that way, but it is natural that some people might feel that way, and it sucks. But I personally am happy that we didn't get one. I would have loved one still, but I'm not disappointed that we didn't.
No, exactly. Exactly. I'm very much on the same boat with you there, Troy. I have a question. Your little Phasma t-shirt, mate. I got a question here from Leech. And they said, do you think the TARDIS will go back to tennis design or something else? I think we did touch on this briefly. I can't remember when it was.
Your stream this morning, not on the podcast.
On my stream. Jeez. We're doing lots,
We've done so much this week, man. How are you not sick of me yet?
No, how are you not sick of me?
For the record, Crispy was doing a stream this morning. Well, his evening, his time, morning, my time.
Last night for me, yeah.
I specifically didn't ask him about being on it because I was on his last live stream and I thought, the dude's got to do some stuff without me. He surely doesn't want me poking in and everything he did. And then last night he texted me and went, do you want to be on my stream?
Surely, come on.
All right.
Surely, come on.
Like, I'll be on everything you want me to be on. I just thought you might want to break from me, but no.
I think what I'll do is every stream I do, I'll hype up a special guest, and it's you every time. Always you.
Because in your chat,
every single time.
There's a special guest. I'm trying to be more careful with my voice now because my mum is asleep. It's 20 past midnight right now in the UK.
Yeah. We'll wrap up soon.
But you went. There's a special guest. I saw someone in the chat go, "Is it Jamie Magnestow?" And I thought, "Oh God, he's hyped it up too much now." Oh no.
Clip. We've got the clip for people. Do you have the clip?
The clip! I don't have the clip! Oh my gosh. I will get the clip.
That's alright. I'll hold. Guys,
where did you send it to me?
Everyone... I sent it to you a long, long time ago. It might have been on Facebook. Might have been on Facebook. Okay, well that...
Yeah,
so maybe, I don't know if you want to... do that. Yeah, cool. That's alright. That's okay.
I think you sent it on Facebook.
So everyone...
Oh my god.
While Troy is doing that and everyone watching, we do have a little special... Yeah, we do have a little special gift for you all, and it's something that was filmed a little bit ago. And I'll wait for Troy. I'll wait for Troy to download. I'll have a read of some questions.
Was it the one thing you sent me that was 13 seconds long?
No.
Oh dear. I've only got one clip you sent me that was 13 seconds long.
Oh. Oh, maybe I sent the wrong clip. Maybe I have sent the wrong clip.
Could you get it to send to me again, possibly?
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you do that? Yeah, I've gone back to our message history. The only one I have of him is 30 seconds long. It might be that you haven't sent it.
No, I've got it here.
You sending it on Messenger still?
No, I sent it through the Discord.
Oh, I've got to break the capture for you to do that. God.
Oh, sorry.
The video version doesn't look disturbed.
This is entertainment, everyone. This is entertainment.
Someone's saying, Spike saying, I'd love to know how Graham got in touch with Joe, Mel, and Ian. Well, Sarah Jane Smith followed everyone, didn't she? So it's possible that she maybe kept records of everyone, and Graham maybe found those somehow. It's not impossible. Right, okay, let me get this up real quick. Get it downloaded. Okay, and you sure this is the right one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 155 megabytes. It's downloading very, very quickly. Thank God for my good internet speed. Because otherwise
it would have taken a year for me.
It's downloaded. Right, let's go. That's how fast my internet is.
Do you want me to introduce the clip? Do you want me to introduce it? While you set it up?
Have you said who it is?
I haven't said who it is.
All right, introduce it before I get it on the screen. Because I'll have to get it on the screen and pause it to get the audio capture to work properly. So you introduce it.
Leech, to answer your question, I do think it will be David Tennant's TARDIS. It makes the most sense. They've dismantled Jodie's and David's is in storage. Yeah, and I think we'll get a new one for Shooty. So, and I don't think we want David Tennant in it to be the first one in Shooty's TARDIS. But that's just me, personally. That's just me. Troy, how you going with the setup?
I'm just checking. It does, right. OBS. I was wondering, because you've sent it me because you're an Apple user. Ugh, disgusting. I wasn't sure if OBS read .mov files, but apparently it does, so I can just slap this in as soon
That's
as
how
we're
he
ready.
sent it to me. Thank you very much.
Well,
So
you could've
he's an
converted
Apple
it,
user.
You nice YouTuber. You.
He's an Apple
right, go on,
user.
introduce it, and then I'll get it on the screen.
Okay, so as some of you may have seen, I made a video recently called the Doctor Who series that never was, and it was all about the production struggles of Series 13.
I've got
hello,
audio clip. Sorry.
hello, David.
It's David.
Go
Sorry,
away.
I was getting the transition
David,
set
go
up and I
away.
forgot the trailer was going to play there. Sorry. Audio listeners, there's going to be the odd little glitch here. I apologise. Go on, you keep talking, keep talking.
So in that video, we had a little cameo from Flux and Power of the Doctor director Jamie Magnus Stone. And when I sent him some questions, I was a little bit cheeky and asked him a little bit about Jodie's final episode and what it was like filming in COVID-safe conditions for Jodie's, because they filmed this in the same block as they did for Flux and Legend of the Sea Devils, Eve of the Daleks. So it was all during like pandemic. This was towards the tail end of the bad stuff in the pandemic. So anyway, Jamie Magnus Stone will talk about some of the troubles.
Why
he's
is it
upside down.
Why is it
He's upside down. Jamie!
I don't know why it was upside down.
There
I think
he
that's
is.
the wrong way around.
There he is.
Okay, it's close enough. Okay, it's close enough. Okay, let's get this lined up. Also,
anyway.
ignore for the video viewers, it does say episode 27. I made this capture for the tier list and didn't think we were going to use it again. So I will keep that in mind in the
here
future.
we are.
I made a mistake. I'm very sorry, everyone. You will have my twit longer apology within the hour. Here we go. Right, it should be monitoring the audio now. I don't know how loud it's going to be, so I apologise. If it's too loud, hopefully it won't be. Here is our special message from Jamie Magnus Stone.
Jodie's final episode in a COVID-safe environment. I think by the time we were filming the last episode, the Regen episode, the pandemic had moved on a little bit more, so there was a little bit more structure to how we kind of protected against COVID, and I think we were all slightly more used to it by then, which was handy. But it still threw spanners in the works as it had done the whole way through, where you'd think you know what you're filming one week and maybe someone tests positive or there's an inconclusive test in a department and people need to isolate. So it kind of kept us on our feet a lot more than Doctor Who ordinarily would. And to be honest, it's a show that does kind of keep you on your toes a lot anyway. You even at the best of times, you have to be kind of able to change plans at the last minute and pivot quickly. And COVID just made that even more so, that you would have to get used to maybe waking up in the morning and shooting something totally different to what you were expecting to film. But the crew are so brilliant and so kind of generous and willing to kind of go with you and you know have to change plans at the last minute, so understanding that that they made it possible. And I'm really proud of what the crew managed to give under what were quite difficult circumstances. So hopefully you'll be pleased with the result.
And there we go. That's our special message from Jamie Magnus Stone about how they filmed in a COVID-safe environment. Intriguing. Thank you for that, Crispy.
That's all right. No worries.
You have a nice little text there, buddy. You have a nice little text.
Oh, I'm just texting Jamie. Don't mind me.
How are you? Did you just tell him that you showed the clip?
So, mate, you're on screen.
Yeah, Jamie's our new best. Well, your new best friend. He doesn't know me.
My new bestie. I'll try and get him for the podcast.
Do it. Okay. Should we pick one more question each and then wrap up?
That sounds like an excellent plan.
Again, I cannot apologise enough, everyone, for all the comments we aren't going to be able to read out on the podcast. We're at 923 subscribers, by the way. This is insane. So thank you all very much. What we'll say again, so as a reminder, just before we wrap this up, when the video version goes up in the comment section, we want, first off, your reviews of Power of the Doctor. If you have questions in those reviews, feel free to leave them. We might try and read them out in our next episode. And also, separately, comments about what you think of Series 5. So when we record our Series 5 episode on Wednesday, we've got comments from you guys. Please make sure you do that. Write a note down if that you need to do that once this video version goes up. Please do. We want some comments from you guys. So, Crispy, who's going first for reading out comments? Do you want to go first? Because then I can do a question, then we can go back for your closing comments, can't we?
Yes. Okay.
Plans.
For
Plans,
sure.
my brother. Plans.
For sure. This one is from the Gaming Ham, and they said, question, I've heard rumors of another Doctor Who and Torchwood crossover. Have you heard these rumors? No, I haven't, really. I don't know what they're really going to do with the whole Torchwood brand. I don't Russell obviously loves that show, but I don't know if they're going to bring it back at all. If it does, I don't know. We'll see. But no, I haven't heard any rumors. I just think what is going to happen in the RTD era is we're going to get a spin-off. Whether that spin-off is set up in series 14, who knows? Who knows?
It's a very, very good question.
Who knows?
It's a very, very good question. first off, Jessica Veal, we answered your question earlier. You might have missed it. We did read out your question about the Phasmin kiss, so make sure you listen back because we did cover that. I don't want her to think we have ignored her question when we have answered that one because there's going to be a lot of questions we have left. Let's see. I'm gonna try and pick a really, really good one. A really, really good one. What should I pick? Oh, this is difficult. What should I do? Crispy, can you pick my last question because I can't decide? Can you pick it for me?
I'm having a look.
Actually, no. I think I've got one. I think it's the most recent one from Little MMCX, and this is a good way to sum it up. How would you rank this episode to the rest of Jodie's era? If we were putting it into our tier list, it would be in the S tier.
I put it in the S tier. Absolutely.
It would be in the S tier. I think that is an absolutely fantastic episode. I think it is one of the best, if not. Would you say the best Whittaker era episode, or might it be too early days to say that?
The best Whittaker episode, this one. I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely S tier for me. It's definitely a standout, and I'm definitely going to be rewatching this. I don't know. This episode just gives me absolute good vibes.
Let's both across Discord agree to watch it once more before we record on Tuesday. Handshake. There you go. We have shook hands.
Mate, as soon as I have Brecky, I'm watching it again, mate.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, I have watched it twice, so you just want to compete with me now. So you're going to watch it again? You're going to watch it 3 times before we record?
I'll watch it 7 times until we talk again.
You'll watch it 13 times. On that note, Crispy, can you give us your closing comments for the episode? And then we will remind everyone of our plans.
Of course I can. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed the regeneration of Jodie Whittaker. The end of the Chibnall Whittaker era. My goodness. What a topsy-turvy time for us. There were highs, there were lows, there were hugs, there were cries.
And there was
but you know what? And there was Rasputin. Absolutely.
In Russia,
but you know what? This version of the show will always be, for us here at Who's There, what brought us together. What brought Troy and I together to make this podcast possible. So thank you very much to everyone involved. And bring on RTD2. Welcome back, David Tennant. Welcome, Shooty Gatwa. And thank you very much from Crispy and Troy. Much love.
Thank you very much, everyone. So live chat, obviously, as always, stick around. We'll wind down with you after the episode officially ended. Sorry, audio listeners, that's a bit of bullying for you.
Sorry.
But thank you all very much for listening. And honestly, for what... I mean, according to this right now, we have had 1,797 views on the stream, which, if those are actual full views that count into when this publishes, means this has already become the biggest episode in our podcast's history.
Yeah.
Like, just right off the bat. So if that is the case, that is ridiculous. Thank you very much. You're all crazy, but we're very, very grateful. If I just go onto our channel very quickly, Crispy, what is our
925 subs, by the way.
That's amazing. Do you want to see what our most viewed video is? Currently, it is episode 12. I'm going to click on it. Look, you don't get any audio. Oh, there's me going.
Is it the one with Dom? Oh, no, it's the new episode.
It's saying Shooty Gatwa is the 14th Doctor. Irony. Yeah. But that has 1,175 views, so we're far and above that. So record setting. Thank you all so much. As you said, on the audio platform, this will go out as soon as possible. But remember that after this, we're going to be recording episode 32 on Tuesday. That will go up on Saturday at the normal time. We will do full, proper Power of the Doctor. I don't know what we're going to title it. We'll have to talk about it.
We'll call it David's Back.
David's back, whatever. And then episode 33, we're going to record on Wednesday because we've got a special guest, and this week's better for him, where we'll be looking back on Series 5. So you now know the next 2 weeks of podcast episodes for Who's There, Doctor Who podcast. But
it's genuinely very exciting.
Only exactly the same thing as Crispy said. This podcast is this era has brought us to this podcast. We've had an absolute blast, and we're excited to see what's next. I'm personally a little bit worried. Do you know why I'm worried, Crispy?
Why are you worried, son?
What happens when we get a new logo? Do we have to overhaul how the podcast looks? The Doctor Who logo as it is in our logo. We've got the orange theme based on that. The black and white background.
We'll see what happens.
In case you guys hadn't realised, the black and white astral background that we have on the Starting Soon screen and on our logo and things, that is the background from the YouTube videos for Jodie's era, but black and white. So everything is Jodie themed on our podcast. So we might have to change it all. It's going to be a strange time.
Revamp.
And yes, as Philosopher has just said in the chat, Tennant is the 10th and 14th Doctors now. Very weird. Well, I have a poster on my wall. You might have seen it somewhere in a store, but it's got 15 Doctors on it. It's got 1 all the way through to Fugitive with also John Hurt in the middle of it. So all 15 Doctors. If they update that poster now, it's going to be one hell of an ego trip for David Tennant if we have 2 David Tennants and then a Shooty Gatwa afterwards. That would be very weird on that poster. I wonder how they'll do that. I genuinely wonder. That's what I want to know.
Who knows?
That's what I want
Who knows?
But thank you, everyone, for listening and watching this episode of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for. We have got David Tennant as the 14th Doctor, and then Ncuti Gatwa following on as the 15th Doctor. So to recap, after today's 87-minute episode, David Tennant will be playing the 14th Doctor for 3 episodes in November 2023. It's been confirmed all 3 episodes will air in that month. So we have got a 12 to 13 month wait for more Doctor Who. Please just end my suffering now. And then after that, we have got Ncuti Gatwa taking over as 15, with his first episode airing in the festive period of 2023. Does that mean just a single special at Christmas or New Year? Does it mean the start of his new season? We don't know. Time will tell. But for now, we will see you all next Saturday with episode 32, where we do a full, proper breakdown of Power of the Doctor, more logical, rational thoughts, and also breaking down that next time trailer with David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Neil Patrick Harris, and Ncuti Gatwa. There's not much to it, but you bet your backside, if I can get a 10-minute video out of the Centenary trailer from Legend of the Sea Devils on my YouTube channel, we can get a podcast episode out of that next time, and everything else about the Doctor we didn't talk about, because there's a lot. There's plenty. You know, we didn't even mention Shad. We didn't mention him once this episode. There's plenty of things we didn't talk about. You know,
there's
plenty
a lot.
of things.
There's a lot we got to mention.
But that's what happens when you're having an erratic podcast after an episode's gone out. Some things get left by the wayside. You know, and we've watched it a few more times. Maybe take some notes. We've got some ideas we want to talk about. You know. So until next Saturday, we're gonna leave you all be. Again, YouTube chat. Stick around. Obviously, I'm really teasing the audio listeners. Hey, Apple Podcasts, how's the video version? I haven't made that joke for about 15 episodes, but I brought it back.
Wow.
I brought it back. We brought Classic Doctors back.
End the
today,
episode, Troy.
So I brought back the
End
audio
it.
listener joke. All right, mate.
End it.
Oh, what? Do you know what? I'm being told to end it. Well, there you go. That's very, very mean. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll see you all next Saturday with episode 32 of the show. And we're going to break down Power of the Doctor even more and talk about the next time trailers. Until then, thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll see you all next Saturday. Alon Z, baby.
Alon Z, baby.
And that is a wrap.
And that's history.
That's history. Woo! Your chair's getting really creaky, bro. You need to WD-40 that thing.
I know.
I noticed it in the audio files more. Sometimes I hear that chair creaking. I'm like, damn, that bro needs to oil that thing. He needs to oil it. He needs to oil it, man.
Chair, I should upgrade this chair.
Yeah, right. Let me hit stop recording, but not stop streaming. There we go. So the video version is now remuxing. I will get that rendering overnight. I'm teaching in less than 8.5 hours time. I'm not going to get much sleep tonight.
Sleep.
Anyway.
Sleep. 8 hours sleep is fine.
So, legit, we just got to say again, thank you all so much for support.
Thank you, guys.
Crazy. It's been crazy.
We have gained so many new fans, new subscribers coming in. Thank you so much, everyone that's new.
Episodes. I'm just saying. Okay, you all better hang out for future episodes. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for context, we tend to record the live episodes on Thursdays at about 11:30, 12 p.m. UK time, so more midday. If you guys want us to experiment with more times to go live, like this was a late one. If you want us to do a late night episode in the future, we could try that, like a Thursday night. What do you think, Crispy? Should we try a Thursday night for our next live one? Mix it up.
Oh, that would have to be Thursday morning for me. I usually have work.
Well, it'd be Friday morning for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, also have work full time.
Can you take a day off?
For a podcast, maybe if there's an episode.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's an episode.
Well, we could do Tuesday because you have Wednesday.
I'll take. Yes.
Could you move the day you take off? Actually, I'm just bossing your life around.
Don't move my schedule.
I'm bossing your life
around.
That's what I do.
No.
I take control.
No.
I am the puppet master. I am the spy master, and I'm the dead master on a planet that blew up.
My boss only just approved my annual leave like midstream, so I don't know how lenient we're gonna be.
Nah, we'll experiment, but we want to do more live episodes, and you guys should hang out for them. They're good fun. They're good fun. Are they not, Crispy?
Yeah, they're bloody good, mate.
You have to think about that. Do you notice that chat clearly doesn't enjoy them as much as I do? Anyway.
Sorry, no, I just got a notification.
God, this man's attached to his phone. Can you guys believe this? All right, do you know what we should do, Crispy? We should pick out some names and say thank you to them, the people for watching. You know, pick out some names. Okay, so I'll pick out some names. You pick out some names that say thanks for them for watching. So Amanda Deacon, DW Boy 14, Matt Wolverine, Sarah Glover, Jack Cumbers, and Dylan Thompson. Thank you all for watching. Crispy, take over.
Thank you, Dwayne Morgan, Mr. Scarlo, Leech 96, Pilcrow, Spike, Draw with Cameron Smith.
Draw with him.
And who else? Who else can I say? Thank you to Will Thomas. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
John Adarte,
you're all legends.
Polgara UK, Lewis 93, Kylie Williamson, Lewis Frisbee, Jordan Plays. People popping in now towards the end. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We really appreciate it. And Bastian.
Yeah. Today's been a huge episode. Huge episode. Keep your eye on Crispy Pro as well and Cosmic Vortex. Surely make a video, mate.
I'm gonna have to, but man, I've got.
Yeah.
Let me just check this right now. How many lessons?
Just do it this week. Just do it this week sometime. Just do it this week.
But the sooner you do it, the bigger, like the better it is. You know what I mean?
I know. My regeneration reaction will be out very,
my
very
God.
soon. So, what?
Crispy, I'm out of a job. I'm joking. I've just checked.
Oh,
All my lessons have moved. Because it's half term in the UK. I thought I still had some lessons. I've just checked. I only have one lesson this week on Thursday at 3 p.m.
wow.
I've got nothing happening tomorrow. I can make a video.
Woohoo! Content for content.
Although I am worried because it means I'm not going to get paid as much this month. Oh dear. Really wish we had super chat donations on here because you guys could have paid my wages. No, I'm joking.
That's all right. If we get to 1,000, hey?
Oh yeah, exactly, you know? And then I'm going to take all the money because I take everything. I take everything from you.
Exactly.
I'm just a robbing thief. No, on a real level, like, I don't want to get too mushy. But it's kind of what Crispy said, like, it means a lot. I know for Crispy, obviously, this kind of got you back into your weekly content. It's kind of like I almost feel like a proud, a proud friend because I love seeing how you've got into the full-time content again after like we kicked the podcast off. But like this podcast is something, as he knows now, as I reminded him, that I've wanted to do for well over a year. We did that Redcast episode, and I said to him like over a year before we started if we could do a podcast. And you remember you saying you were too busy at the time, and I was gutted because I thought this could be so good. And I really wanted to do something Doctor Who wise that we could do like this. And then I just kept asking you, and eventually I asked you at the right time, and you went, "Let's do it." And
let's do it.
This has been, I mean, it's work. Obviously, I know with the editing, I make my jokes and stuff, but I've got used to it now. And also, the amount of live episodes we do really reduces the pressure. It's nice to just be able to put it in Vegas and go, right, render, job done.
Thank you very much.
It's beautiful. But you guys are genuinely amazing. I can't thank you all enough for how fantastic you are in supporting us, watching the episode, subscribing, sharing the podcast around. And thank you, Crispy. It's honestly, it's a pleasure to do this with you every week, man. It genuinely is.
Well, if we're being sappy, I'm just proud that I'm able to like assist you in having an outlet for Doctor Who stuff, because Troy's main thing has been this silly game called Pay Us Deus. All right, that's his channel. Okay. And yeah, Troy's been messaged. Like, I was the first guest he had on because he was like, I love Doctor Who, and I reckon I could talk to this guy and have a pretty good time. We had the longest podcast episode ever on his podcast back in the day. We chatted for what, 2 hours or something stupid?
An hour and 50. Longest episode
I've
ever had of that podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, Troy messaged initially. I wasn't in the best headspace at the time, and I was like, no, I can't do one. And then Troy messaged me again. I'm so glad you sent that follow-up message because I was in a better headspace. I was like, I want to get back into Doctor Who. I want to get back to the show I love. And doing this podcast has just been an absolute pleasure. And now we are well on track to 1,000 subscribers, and I think that is showing, you know, the fruits of our labor right there. Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you, Troy, and thank you everyone for supporting us.
And the thing is as well, like I said to you, like I feel like we've become really good friends because of it. You know?
Absolutely.
Like, I honestly count as one of my closest friends because of what we do here.
I 100% agree, and I will be in the UK next year.
Yeah.
I will be in the UK next year.
And as I've said to you, I've got some, like...
I'm shaking your hand and making you a big hug.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I've said, Crispy knows this, I'm not going too much into personal life, but I've had some drama with my best friend at the minute. I haven't spoken to my best friend in literally, like, 3 weeks. She's not being the nicest person right now. It's a long story. We're not going to go there. I'm not asking for any kind of pity. But... genuinely knowing that every week I can hop on a podcast with you and we can just sit and chat about Doctor Who. You don't know how much that means to me. It's such a special thing.
It's the best thing.
It genuinely is such a special thing, and it means a lot to me.
And when you guys aren't watching, Troy and I talk about other things than Doctor Who. We do keep up with each other.
We do talk about Marvel things, but not as many people watch those episodes. But it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's fine. Special episodes, but
they're fun. They're a bit different, and we had 100 people watch the She-Hulk episode. That's cool, you know.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I was very happy.
Well, She-Hulk wasn't the most popular show anyway, so it's valid. You know, but when we talk about Wakanda Forever, we hope we're going to get views for it forever. See what I did there? That was terrible.
Nice.
That was really bad.
Beautiful.
Oh, people saying they're tearing up from listening to us talk. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
We had to
You're
say
all
that.
legends.
Well, I mean, there's so many people watching. I mean, a few people have dipped now. We're at, what, 99 viewers? We're just under 100. But, like, our peak, does it say what our concurrent peak was? Can we see this real quick?
If we hit over 200, that's better than Crispy Pro.
We didn't hit
200.
What,
25,000 subs?
I'm seeing 186.
I think that's better than last night's stream for me.
I think 186 was our peak. I'm just rolling along the graph now to see. Yeah, I think it'll tell us when we end the stream. Annoyingly, it won't tell us now. I think 186 was our peak, but we'll tell you later.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We need to do more things. You know, we should maybe make a Who's There Discord server when we get popular enough or something. You know, we should do some Doctor Who things. Or we could actually
mate.
We could integrate them into your Discord server because that needs a bit more life. And we could kind of integrate.
That would be. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. This is all part of my series 2 pitch, guys. It's all part of my series 2 pitch.
Oh,
yeah. It's all coming together.
We've got some cool stuff coming, basically, guys. But yeah, so
Yeah.
as a last reminder, once this podcast ends, you should be able to get back on the video version immediately. You won't see the live chat for a while. That's got to process. But when the comment section opens up, do them separate comments again, please, because it makes it easier for us to get the images and talk them through.
Absolutely.
A comment for what you think about Power of the Doctor, and a comment for your thoughts on Series 5 of Doctor Who. Or one or the other. You don't have to do both. Or do neither. If you don't feel like if you're lazy like me and you can't bother doing either, go for it. Now I know I don't have to go to bed just yet. I might load up some video games and play for a little bit, Just chill. Process my emotions.
I need to have... I've got breakfast waiting for me, boy.
Go and have some breakfast, Crispy. Go and have some breakfast. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up now. Thank you all so much. It's been an absolute blast having you all here to talk about Power of the Doctor. I'm so glad that we made the effort to do this, Crispy. Because
absolutely, it's well worth.
Not even from like obviously from a YouTuber's perspective, being like, yeah, let's capitalize on the views while they're there, because obviously that's part of it, and we lied, we pretended otherwise. But I think there's something nice about having like the community being hot off the episode and being like, let's talk about it. What do you think of all this? Because whenever I watch something new, the first thing I do is I jump to reaction channels to see what they thought of things. And I saw at Pig in Tea Break, Jude on Twitter, I saw his reaction he posted of him seeing Colin Baker appear as his favorite Doctor. The man was literally crying. Shout out to him. Oh, nice. That was adorable. But as you know, I love Blind Wave. I'm just going to be waiting now and refreshing my YouTube feed tomorrow, waiting for them to upload their reaction. They've not been as big fans of Jodie's era, so I'm a little bit nervous they might not like it as much, but I'm still excited to see what they think, because hopefully
interested to see what they would think of this episode. But
I'm excited to see that. Either way,
regardless, guys,
thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Got some cool things coming. And honestly, by the way, Crispy, I don't know when we're doing our season break. I don't.
No, nor do I.
Because we made a joke saying, "Oh, we were going to break at 20. Maybe we'll break at 30." And
now it's just the timings. It's just keeping going. Maybe it'll be like around Christmas,
maybe, or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
we can't have a break coming up to the 59th anniversary. There might be something for that. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we're gonna
Blind Wave's reaction. Of course, if nothing else, their reaction to David Tennant.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see these reactions go out. And who else? Have you ever seen that Farewell 34? He's not been as reliable as it looked, but he's had loads of personal stuff. So hopefully when he does his video, and also Just So Shayla, their 3 reactions I'll shout out because I love them all. Did you watch many reactors, Crispy? Or is that more my thing?
No, mainly just the Who-tubies if they upload.
That's fair. All right then, peeps. We're going to let you go. We're going to do an outro screen. You can
get out of here.
I'm going to go play some Fortnite
Thanks,
or something.
mate.
Do you know what's really funny as well, by the way?
I'll text you all throughout the day. Yeah.
As the little closing joke, we know that we mentioned did we mention it? I don't think we mentioned it, actually. Fortnite apparently are getting another Doctor Who crossover. We need to mention this at some time. It was leaked, and then the leaked tweet was deleted, but it wasn't said that it was wrong, so I think maybe they were told to take it down. But there is already an emote in Fortnite of the Rara Rasputin with the dance. So if they ever imagine if they add a Sacha Dhawan master skin, and then I can make him do that dance.
I will make that a green screen edit and just have that in my videos all the time.
Right. I'm going to agree with you right now. If they do a Doctor Who collab in Fortnite, a proper one with skins, we both buy the skins, we do a stream together.
We're doing it. We're doing it 100%.
Okay, cool. Done.
Special podcast episode.
There you go. Special episode. Right. Okay,
beautiful.
Everyone. We will leave you all be. Oh, look, the people have put some other people to watch in the live chat. Yeah, go for it. Shout people out. Spread the love. Go for it. Now our stream's ending.
Spread the love.
Go and watch what you want. But when we're live, obviously we come first. Duh. Like the person said at the start, was it Mateo saying that he ditched Tharies for us? Good. Joking, we love you, Tharies. I mean, I've never even properly met Tharies or interacted with him, but I know he's a good guy. He puts a lot of work.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Yeah, we collabed like a couple months ago. That was the first time we met. Yeah, we get Tharies on the podcast. He talked about it.
So annoyingly,
he wants us on his one as well.
I saw him in passing at Wales Comic Con, but I didn't go up to him because I didn't know how well he knew me. I didn't really know how well I knew him, and I was like, is this going to be like? I don't think he knows this, but I did see him, and I was like, do I say hi? I really wish I had, but I'll probably see him at Comic Con, and if I do, I will say hi. But either way, right, let's get on the outro screen. So we got to be quiet, which is difficult for you and I, clearly. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. We both really appreciate it. It's been one hell. And also, by the way, because yesterday I did a stream for 2 years on Twitch, so we've had 2 big streams.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's an epic time. Massive. It's a really epic time. So
epic.
Thank you all for hanging out. All right, see you all soon. We'll do another live episode. Well, plans are kind of messed up. We normally do a live episode at the start of a month, so we might just do it in. Maybe we'll do episode 34 live. The next one after the 2 we're recording, we'll do a live one. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all on Saturday with episode 32. Make sure you give all leave those comments about Series 5 and Power of the Doctor below. I'm going to stop talking. Go have your brekkie, Crispy. Go have your brekkie. Right. See you later. Let's run the outro sequence. We're fading out. We're going, Crispy.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Enjoy Power of the Doctor.